You didn't?
And now we're really I just realized that was me. Sorry we're late. I thought I had hit the live button and we were sitting here talking the whole time like we were live. And I was wondering
We didn't say
where
much, but it's not like anybody missed anything.
there's nobody commenting. I can't see the number
Well,
of
it's
people.
Saturday,
Something's
maybe. I mean,
weird
usually
here, and it took me about 2 minutes to realize I hadn't actually hit the live button like I thought I did.
it is Saturday, which typically, to be fair, typically Saturday is our most. Typically, we have the most viewers on Saturday, but yeah, I never understood that. I always feel
Well,
like
and
Saturday
we were
afternoon people would
talking
be out
about
doing.
Tim and wishing him well, and
Yeah, we
and
were.
like that, saying how weird that is and how horrible that is to hear about. But let us know and keep us updated. And then Chris mentioned that you had a music channel or something, so we had posted the link to one of your songs, which I was going to listen to later. And so Chris, you can post the link again if you want, because I don't know if anybody was here. And then
Oh,
Chuck,
it still shows up. It still shows up in the live
okay,
chat.
so that's the latest. The last link posted is to Tim's music.
Yeah, it's on his, like, if you go to, like, if you just go to, like, his on the chat thing, if you go to, like, go to his channel type thing, he has a few videos up. He doesn't have many subscribers. I subscribed to him like the other week whenever I try to subscribe to everybody I see in the comments, so that kind of way, that way I can kind of remember who's out there. And it's like a whole album, by the way. It's like it's a 40. He posted like this whole album that he made. He said it's like. He said it's not mixed that much, but I think it sounds pretty badass myself. Like the way it's got it mixed, because it's got like this like real like raw like kind of hardcore punk sound to it, but then like it's got, like I said, it's got like real singing and real melody to it. It kind of reminds me of like like a little bit like, I don't know, maybe like early Cursive kind of, in that sense of like, not only does it sound like Cursive, but it has like that early the kind of same kind of rawness that Cursive had, where like they used to have like some screaming, some hardcore, and also some melody and stuff like that. Cursive's my favorite band, so I just
anyway, the link is in the chat if anybody wants to hear it. It's
yeah, I'm just heaping praise on it because I think that I think it deserves it. I was the first thing I've heard from someone, first thing I've heard from someone in a long time that I sat up and paid attention to. I thought it was like badass. So I mean, anyway, I don't know how it's going, Tim, out there, but like I like everything I wrote in the comments. I mean all that shit, man. I know how scary it is. A loved one going missing like that. It's pretty much like it's pretty much the most stressful and scary thing you can go through, in my opinion. I mean, I could get I myself could be lost in the woods somewhere and have no idea where I am, and that wouldn't scare me nearly as much as, like, you know, like when my kids or my wife or something, like not knowing where they were, you know, like they just like take off like that. Yeah, that kind of shit is truly stressful. So. Anyway, but that's so what's up, Chuck? Obviously in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Just Chuck in Tennessee is what it says in the thing. That's all.
And then we talked about his log shirt. My log does not judge, from Twin Peaks, and I said that mine does. It's very judgy. It sees and judges all,
which is fair, you know. I
think people. I don't see how people cannot judge. I think I don't think there's this completely judgeless person. I don't know how they would even make it through life without the ability to judge.
Well, we have to make judgments. I think the concept of judging in this case is more like you know, making moral judgments or whatever. Just like, you know,
people do that all the time. I mean, they do it here on this panel constantly all the time.
Definitely they
do. How
I'm
things are legal, but it's not moral, and people still should or shouldn't do them.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's not.
Why
It's
does
not
it
possible.
bother you? Like, because different churches used to have different opinions about things, and if it wasn't my church, even the Catholic Church, I didn't care about, but I didn't care what all of these other churches thought about what I might be doing based on their morality. I only cared about what I was doing based on my morality. So even if people were judging you morally, why would it affect anybody? Like, who cares what strangers' moral judgments are about you are?
I don't personally. It's never. It
I
doesn't
don't
bother.
either.
It
If
never.
I
It doesn't
don't
even
know
bother.
you, I don't. Your thoughts have no weight to me at all. Zero.
Yeah, I've never really. I mean, there's very few people who I care about what they think in general about me. And it's people if I love and respect them, then you know, there's just a human I guess desire to like to in turn be loved and respected, I guess, to that degree.
But
And
by
I
strangers?
no, but not strangers. No, I'm saying if it's somebody that I love and respect, someone that I know
Oh,
personally, someone I'm close to, someone that
oh yeah.
I genuinely,
I'm
someone I
just not
deeply
that
care about
as
or something.
invested in strangers as other people seem
No,
to be.
I don't care what strangers think at all. That's the reason why I don't give a shit at all. If I don't know you, if I don't know you, and in every little bit, I know you more. Like okay, so like if I know you just as much, not much as like you're somebody who's in the comments and you say hi every now and then, like I my my opinion of your opinion is going to be very very slight at all, but like it might be it might tick just up just a little, just because like I recognize you as a human being that's out there that has acknowledged my existence. So but and then if I get to know you and I have a conversation with you and like we get along or we become friends, that sort of thing, and the higher you go up that hierarchy of relationships, I guess, and like the closer you get to somebody, the more you end up getting to know them, then the more
Oh
okay.
wow. They
Wow.
were on the corner where the shooting was?
Shit.
Yeah, she was
Di
on Cynthia's show last night and she said that he had been sick and but he was okay. That's just why he hasn't been on the YouTube. So Flo is around. He is intact and safe. And
I
apparently
kinda
the wife
figured it
and
was
the
just something
kids
like
were.
that. I kinda felt like people were kind of freaking out over nothing, but, like, at the same time, like, I only started getting concerned because everyone else was
Well, it
getting
was
so
so
concerned.
sudden. Even if you were sick, you could like put a little update or answer a message or two.
That seems very Flo not to do that, though. He
Yeah,
seems like
it does. And if you're sick, I mean, definitely like prioritize that and take care of
oh yeah,
yourself.
I mean, I would be. I'm the kind that like, if I'm sick, I'm gonna put that message out there or something, or let somebody know that. But that just seems very Flow to like to just not just be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. Just like, they'll figure it out. Just- I'm not even insulting him in that sense. I'm just saying like just that's just his personality. He's just got that kind of like. I mean, goes with the flow, I guess, as they say. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I apologize.
So yeah, thanks Chuck and thanks Katie for letting us
Katie?
know. That's one worry let
Oh, is
off
Katie
the
his
mind.
wife or girlfriend?
I I've never heard him refer to his wife.
Okay, well, Chuck said
I
wife,
always
so
thought they were girlfriends or live-ins or domestic partners, domestic marriage, whatever that's called. I don't know though. That's it. But
all
I
the
did
same to
not
me.
ever have the idea it was wife.
That's all the same to me. I mean, if it, I see two people in a committed relationship that are committed to each other in that sense to share as a partnership of any kind. I don't care if they're men, women, man and woman, whatever, trans, non-binary, whatever combination of two people that are making that commitment to each other. I don't give it a I don't give a shit. It's all the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing as a wife. You know.
And to me, they're different things.
Really? I mean, like I just because the only difference is the ceremony, really, isn't it? Or the legal status.
What's a legal stat? Like if somebody told me this is my wife or this is my husband, I would assume that they're legally married. I wouldn't just think, oh, that's his partner. and he's calling
Mm.
her wife. I would assume a certain legal status about them.
I think I don't really see it because like if you if you live with somebody long enough, it becomes a common law marriage anyway. So you don't even need like
That's
to
what I
go
was
and
thinking.
apply. What's that?
Yeah, but then they usually they say that's my common law wife, or if you ask, they say yeah, common law. Like they almost always let me know
Really? Oh.
it's not legal, it's common law, because they like usually that's the reason why people are asking is because they want to know the legal
I
status.
mean, beyond tax, some I guess small tax benefits. I never. That was one of the reasons why I never. I guess I understood that the reason, like that the the LG movement wanted gay marriage to be legalized for so much because of the fact that it was just more about the fact that they couldn't for some reason, like it was an equality thing. But I didn't realize the big deal about marriage was anyway, because it's just like it I mean, like if two people make that commitment,
Well,
I
you
see
take
it.
it for granted because you've always had it, but if you've never had it
Sure,
and
no,
then
no,
you
I
get it,
get it. I think it was I believed it was important for equality's sake because because everyone deserves the same treatment under the law. I think everyone deserves that right. I was just saying that, but it's just like at the end of the day, like I would have been just as fine if they just abolished legal marriage for straight people and made it equal that way as they did the other way.
well, I mean, they didn't know. I guess that didn't have enough momentum. They
Nobody
certainly
was
could have,
suggesting
but
that.
this is
Nobody,
the
no one's
one that
suggesting
won
that.
the
I was
day.
just saying, like, I'm just saying if instead of gay people getting the right to get married, straight people lost the ability to get married, and then everyone was equal that way. I think the equality part was what mattered there. But that's my point. It's not it's not a judgment on anybody that wanted that. I was just saying, like, I mean, I think I just feel like any two people can make that commitment to each other, and if they're,
Yeah, but
I
you
guess,
don't
like,
get legal benefits from it unless it's sanctioned by the
right,
state.
yeah. I know, and I think that's stupid. I don't think it should be like that, but
Well,
it's fine.
that's the way it is. Like it's been just
Yeah.
get enough people to sign on to your cause and get it changed. But like currently,
It's not something I'm passionate
that's
about.
what people have accustomed themselves to.
Yeah, it's not something I'm passionate about. It's not something not something I think that I think strongly enough about to try to like change laws. I just always thought it
I
was
don't
kind of a
either.
silly.
It doesn't
It's just
bother
kind of
me
a
at all.
silly. It just seems like a silly little thing, um, to
Because
to
it
require
puts
from
you in a
people.
certain category or a certain status that you get benefits for being in. It's tangible, state sanctioned, state provided benefits from being in that category. So there's a very
Not
real
many.
reason to want to be eligible for that category and to be accurate about it.
Not there aren't
It's a social
many.
construct, but it's a social construct with concrete benefits to it.
I mean, there is a slight you get slightly better depending on who how
But
much
the
money you
point
make.
is, you get things, you get benefits from having that
Sure. Okay.
status that people
Yes.
without
Sure.
that status don't. However slight you think that is, it's still true about what I'm saying.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, yeah. I'm not trying to take. I'm not trying to say that it doesn't.
So
It
there are
doesn't. I was just.
incentives to be in that category and to not be excluded from it.
Yeah.
And so for
There.
some
Yeah.
people, those incentives are a big enough deal.
The biggest one I think is the biggest one that the one that always made me like mad, especially like in those days before they legalized gay marriage, was the right to, like, to be like with your partner, like in the hospital or something like that. That's the one that always made me angry, that they wouldn't let, like someone's, like, life partner, regardless who it was, like, in because they weren't like legally married, because gay marriage wasn't legal, like, and then, like, so someone would be dying in the hospital and they couldn't be with them or something like that. That shit pissed me off. I mean,
I
that's the
don't know what
bullshit
the
that.
law was in Vegas at the time, but I was up at the hospital every day because I was his partner. But we never told the hospital anything specific. It never came up.
Right. Oh, okay,
But
that's
we were
good.
roommates too. We lived together. So I was up there every day. And one of the nurses pulled me aside one day and she says, I notice you're up here every day. She said, you look like you're close friends. I said, yes. And we live together. and she says, well, why don't I put you down as emergency contact, and then if you're on the paperwork, then you'll have the ability to talk to him and stuff. And I didn't even know that was an option. So she observed this on her own, and she was just a really nice, caring nurse, I guess. And she told me that and because she put me on that paperwork, I could call and get information on him. They couldn't kick me out of his room, et cetera, et cetera. I was the contact person that they had to talk to. And that really, really helped at the end when his mom showed up on the scene, that she had done that with the paperwork and put my name as his contact. So even, I don't know what the law was, but there were people out there just on their own in their professional capacity doing kind things like that. If the law didn't specifically provide for it.
That's really awesome that there was that they did that in that situation, because I'd heard stories back in those days in the pre gay marriage legal being legal days, like where like people were forbidden from seeing like their partner or something like that, like when they were dying in the hospital thing, that type of thing. I just like that those kind of stories like are that's what I mean, that alone is that alone was reason enough for me to be like you need to fucking legalize.
It was a fight. You had to fight with each individual hospital or arrange something with each individual hospital, but you were on your own advocacy.
And that's just which is just bullshit. I mean, it's just complete bullshit. I mean, I don't even think that it should. I mean, if it's somebody, I guess if you're trying to keep out assassins or something from killing them or something, it make one sense. But I don't understand like why hospitals feel the need, or why there's like this thing where like they'll keep out certain people from seeing someone who's on their deathbed.
And the patient should be able to designate. I think that must be how the law was. Like the patient can designate. But some of the controversy was the hospitals were saying that their partners were not eligible to be designated as partners. And so even though the patient could say, yes, I want this person, the hospital would say, well, you can't have him.
And that's just like it is.
But as long as the patient gets to delegate, then it shouldn't matter if they're related or friends or lovers or partners or whatever. The patient should be able to determine who he wants in that role of partner or primary relationship. And some of the laws were specifically adverse to that.
It was just like legalizing gay marriage in that sense. It took away like the ability for bigots.
Like you couldn't. You couldn't even get a marriage license at all.
Interracial marriage didn't is still like within the last like.
What were the two states?
50 years or so. I probably like I'd guess like it'd be probably like somewhere like I don't know. I think Texas it's been legal for a while, but I can't say that for certain. But I'd guess like like a Mississippi or Alabama or something like that probably. Even though they have largely black populations, there's a lot of racist laws on the books there for a long time. But I couldn't say for certain.
Background. Oh, Sammy Davis Jr. got caught up in something. Marry a black woman to protect himself from mob violence. He had to get married to a black woman to call off the mob.
God damn.
Because he had dated a white woman. Oh, Kim Novak. I didn't know they had dated.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a.
And people freaked out so much. This is off of Wikipedia. People freaked out so much about it that he had to turn around and marry a black woman to get them to stop.
Damn.
That's how sensitive people were to that stuff. I'm trying to find out the.
I mean, and people try to say like we haven't come that far as a species or as a country in these last 100 years. And dear God, I mean, like, look.
That's because they need to find problems to make themselves relevant, and the problems are getting harder and harder to find. So they have to break out the magnifying glass and the electron
Yeah, because
microscope.
like that's because just think of how like just how weird and awkward and backwards that just sounds in my head right now. That there was even a time like even 100 years ago that it was like considered like interracial. And even though I know even when I was growing up, when I was a child, I know I can remember people still like looking down upon interracial relationships. But like, I mean, I never understood it as a child, and it was already being like normalized as time went on, as my life went on. And so like I didn't think anything of it by the time I was a teenager. But I can remember as a child like seeing, like hearing commentary like that, about that, and like it's so fucking wild to think about that like not only did we have like that, I mean, even Obama at the beginning of Obama's term when he first elected was still opposed to gay marriage. He didn't become pro gay marriage until
Yeah, so were the
until
Clintons.
yeah, so were the Clintons. Yeah,
Clinton screwed us on that don't ask, don't tell thing.
yeah, yeah. I know it's just it's insane. And
Because
like
I
I mean,
voted, I registered to vote to help put Clinton in office because of all his gay. Like that was when gay was going to get normalized, and we were be able to become part of society. And he sold me on all that bullshit and made me think it was possible. So I went out and registered to vote, and that was the first election I voted in. And then to see him do that with "Don't Ask, Don't Tell" was such a disappointment and a letdown because that was one of the main reasons that I worked so hard. Like I got politically active for the first time in my life. Well, at least at the election box to help put him in office. That particular issue, that issue in particular, was like the record scratch on the whole thing
yeah,
and the
I
first big disappointment.
and I personally, I don't really think that it should have been. I don't really think that the don't ask thing shouldn't have really been a big deal. But like the ability to not have, but you should have
It
the ability to
bothered
tell if you want to. You should be able to tell people if you wanted
because
to.
it was supposed to be we were going to be able to be open, and then it turned
Yeah,
out being that don't ask, don't tell was kind of a compromise that still kept the shame and stigma around it.
yeah, yeah. It did.
And he
It,
participating, like he's the one that gave into it. I just felt
yeah,
so betrayed
I understand why you
because
would.
it's
I
not what
mean,
he
like,
sold us. He was our ally, and he was going to get us like openness in the ranks.
I mean, I was too young. I at the time
Yeah, it's a cop.
for.
Exactly, it's a cop out. That's when I saw his weasel side that he was a politician.
Mm. I mean, I was a child, to be fair, during Clinton's. I mean, I was a young teenager anyway. I wasn't even voting age whenever either one of the Clinton presidencies were elected. I think the first election I was eligible to vote for was probably the first or maybe second
Yeah, it
George
was the
W.
military. It was
term.
don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah,
We were going to be able to serve openly because before that you could get kicked out. Like it was dishonorable discharge, I believe.
I
And
don't
then
think it
they
was dis- I
made
don't
it.
think it was
Clinton made it
dishonorable. It
where,
was
well,
just
if you don't say anything, they can't do anything.
it wasn't dishonorable. I think it was just they just discharged you. It was a plain discharge where you didn't get benefits, but you didn't get dishonorably discharged in the sense that you didn't get any kind of like anything on your record or anything that said that you were kicked out for like because like if you like beat up your commanding officer or something like that you get dishonorably discharged. But if you can just get discharged, just kind of like quietly discharged, just like it was basically it's kind of like getting fired from a job where like you just don't no benefits from it or anything. You just kind of like would get just kind of they just kind of kept it quiet kind of thing, which is like weird anyway. I don't
Oh,
know.
it's
They're
called blue discharge, blue ticket discharge,
yeah. I
and
because I had
it's
a
neutral. It's neither good nor bad.
yeah.
It just
I had
gets
a
you out of
because I
there.
had a friend of mine's a friend that I had growing up. His brother was in the military or had joined the military, and apparently realized after he joined that he had made a huge mistake and basically had like a nervous breakdown, and he got one of those discharges. He got a neither honorable or dishonorable discharge. He just got like just basically I don't think he even made it out of basic training. So they just kind of like sent him home, you know. But, I don't really know I don't know the details of what happened. I don't know how that because I've always heard like they don't just like, but apparently he must have really had a hell of a breakdown for them to be like, fine, just go, but yeah, he had a just a regular discharge on. So I know that kind of thing existed. Like as far as I know, like the only way you get dishonorably discharged is like you got to do something pretty bad. Um, and to get honorably discharged, you have to basically get like a leg blown off or something like that. So
Okay. Hey,
anyway,
Gary.
yeah, Gary,
Gary
what's going
B.
on, man? Hey, Redington, why don't you
Yeah.
come on up?
Yeah. Chuck gave us an update earlier in the comment. They might still be there if you scroll up. I don't know how long it keeps them, but and Katie was on Cynthia's last night and said he's just been sick. He's okay. I mean, he's safe and home and all that. He's not like all the scenarios that we were playing out. Oh, you too? God, it's taken a turn for everybody. Seems like. I wonder if
Well,
it's that
Lindsay's been sick
planet
too.
in Pluto still, or
Lindsay's been,
Uranus. I mean
Lindsay's been sick
Aquarius.
too. She got some antibiotics the other day, but she did like an online like a video doctor thing and got some antibiotics called in, and she's been like the antibiotics have been keeping her like real feeling worse than the sickness did, but I think she's about through them, so she should be feeling better hopefully soon. If not, we have to go take her back to the doctor or something like that. But
Oh,
she has a doctor's appointment in 3 days anyway, so it's not a big deal. I mean, she's not. It's not like she's like dead. She's not like deathly sick or something. She just has. I mean, she's like her condition in general. Just like she's never like feeling like 100%. So she has good days, but for the most part, most days she's feeling kind of. Her medication makes her pretty drowsy a lot of times, and there's not. And we've been trying to get it like balanced where like she's like got she has a little bit more awake time than sleep time, but but for the most part she has to sleep probably twice as much as most people, which is funny because like whenever that was kind of part of what was made part of one of the symptoms of schizoaffective psychosis is that she would not sleep. She would not. She just didn't sleep at all. She would be awake all the time, which is what led me to I put me in a place where I wasn't sleeping at all either because I had to like I basically I for over a year, almost 2 years, I slept on like the shitty downstairs futon and just sat and didn't like sleep there, but just like laid down there and stayed sitting there on the couch. So I was so tired that she didn't leave the house. Because there wasn't because if she left the house, like there was no telling if I'd um, be able to find her again. So which actually that ultimately did happen. So well, that's the reason I started doing this because it happened the first time. But anyway, yeah. It's like in the 50. It's a 50. Yeah, it's today. It's like I think here the freaking temperature here is like yeah, it's like what Chuck's talking about. We here in Texas like we went from like yesterday was fairly decently warm and now it's 45 degrees out. Yeah, it's cold as shit. I went out for just a minute. I had to go down to the apartment office and get a piece of paper they need me to sign. And I was just like, and I just went out just without a jacket or anything on at first. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna walk. It's not that far from my apartment, but I was freezing by the time I got over there. It's freaking crazy but that's pretty normal for Texas though. I mean I swear the worst weather, the worst winter cold weather I've seen in Texas my whole life
it's still
has
going.
taken place in February and March and April. Like we've had snowstorms in April. One year in March,
Sometimes it
one
snows
year
in
in
there.
one year in early March in about 12 years ago or so. I don't know. I guess Clover was about 3, I guess. So it would have been about 13 years ago. We had a actual blizzard in Texarkana that where we had so much. I mean, we didn't just have snow. we had like Chicago piles of snow. We had so much snow and ice, like that on the they whenever they did those plows on the highway and stuff like that, and there would just be like snowbanks that would be like, I mean, I'm talking 10-foot high snowbanks on the sides of the highways, for all the snow they pushed off. It was insane. We the snow was so bad and so thick. Okay, like my parents' road where it is, it's this really long, windy country road, you know, on these like thing, and on each side of the roads, instead of it being like, you know, there is no shoulder, it's just like ditches, just these massive drainage ditches, you know, that people have in front of their houses to keep flooding from happening. So like they have these massively deep drainage ditches. Like, you know, if you drive into one of these things, it's going to wreck your car, or you're not going to
We used
get
to
out of it.
play in them as kids. We had them too.
Yeah.
Ours were deep.
Yeah, these are real deep out there. Where there's our well, I got in my car to go. I had to go to the store for something, to get something for the baby, or for, I mean, she wasn't a baby, she was like 3, but anyway, but I had to go get something for Clover, and I got in our car that we had at the time, and I started driving on the road, and I did not realize how icy the roads were, because I did, because like they had been like salting them and all that stuff, even out in the country out there, like all the people that lived out there were doing it themselves, and I had no idea how bad it was. And as I was coming around one of those corners, the car, like the steering just locked up, and like at least I knew better than to pump the brakes on. I know that doesn't work, so I took my foot off the accelerator, and I'm trying to slowly like get the cars to think, but it just keeps sliding in the same direction, sliding right towards one of those big drainage ditches. But there was so much snow, and it was packed in so densely that whenever I went into this drainage ditch, which normally would have like this would have been instant car wreck, it went into the thing, and I was like, oh crap, I'm stuck. But then said like, but then for some reason I don't even know why I even bothered trying, because like normally I would just been like, well, I'm stuck here now. I put my foot in the gas, and I was able to drive out of it because the snow was thick enough that it was enough. There was enough snow there to actually create enough of a pack it down enough where I could actually get traction and get back onto the road. It's just was it back in the 90s? No, that was like 13 years ago. So I mean, what, this is 2024, man. So it was like 2020, 2011 or so. 2011, yeah, yeah. I was real lucky. It was real lucky. I mean, I was, I remember the feeling of like whenever we're sliding into the thing, I just remember like it just like I had this like I tried to steer it, it wouldn't do anything, and I was like, oh well, here we go. This is the end of this car, and it's like it just kind of like slowly drifted into this thing, and just like kind of like went. And I was like, well, here we are. And then like I hit the gas by accident, and just kind of like it just suddenly started moving. And it just drove right out of it back into those people's lawn, and got into their driveway, and back out on the road, and went back home. Got it back to the house, and it was like, I'm not driving on that. I'm not driving for a while. Yeah, it was only like a maybe not even half a mile from where we lived either. So it wasn't even very far from the house, but yeah, I mean, I just like there was like it felt like a miracle at the time. I felt like the car had magical properties for a second before I realized it was just that there was that much snow. Anyway, yeah, it's a quiet day, I guess. It's a quiet day. Seems like yeah. I was wondering that myself. Somebody asked a minute ago, Britt. Is your name sort of Brittany, or you means you're British or what? But you didn't actually. I guess maybe you're not there now. I was curious, like what Brit stood for as well.
Well, how long do you want to go for if it's just us and we don't get a guest?
I don't know. Yeah. Anything? Got anything on your mind?
No, I checked the news earlier. Trump, I think, lost one of his civil trial. He already had to pay a bunch of money as the result of one of his trials. That was the top headline.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's lost a couple of those, but I mean, like
And
that.
that
But they're just
he has those criminal trials coming up too.
they're gonna keep appealing them. I guarantee you, like in the end, the people with that with those civil trials against them will probably get very little, if any, money. Like,
But even
probably,
you can't, even if he appeals to civil, he still has to put the money up while the appeals are going through. Yeah, he still
I
has
didn't
to
even
pay.
know. I don't know. I don't know much about civil trials. I don't really know much about how that works, to be honest. I know they're different from criminal trials, but I don't really understand like the full difference, except for the fact that you can't go to jail for them. Which I mean, I guess like what they just like garnish the money from you. They just take the money from
Yeah, they could start seizing his assets if he doesn't pay.
season assets or something. Yeah. I figured it had to be something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's this way. It's only 11 viewers right now. I'm sorry. I don't. It doesn't seem like there's anybody out there. Who's out there in the
Hi, viewers.
comments?
Thank you for viewing.
Yes.
Yeah, so anybody can come up if you want and talk about whatever. iPhi. I went on Verbal Combat last night. iPhi was
Oh,
on
did
there.
you?
Andrew Wilson was on there, and he and Andrew Wilson would at it, and Andrew Wilson basically shredded him into fine pieces. It was. I didn't even want people to know that I knew iPhi, and they did a battle with him and Andrew like face to face, and of course Andrew won that one, so iPhi got kicked off.
What
But
was
he was
the?
very gracious. He was a good sportsman.
Oh, that's cool. What was the subject though? What was the subject they did the head to head on?
Libertarianism. Andrew's like, Andrew
Libertarian.
comes on the show. He's like, I heard there were some libertarians on here, and I feel like debating libertarians. So iPhi jumps up, and he's like, yeah, Andrew, I have questions for you. And then those two just immediately start going at each other from that point.
Yeah.
And even like the other libertarians just stepped back and like, we're not that kind of libertarian.
iPhi just he needs to learn. He doesn't have the debate skills that I think he thinks he does. But I mean,
No, but I
still like
admire his gumption. I really do. Like I
do
admire
too.
his tenacity.
I do too. I do. I admire it as well. But I do. I do see. I could totally see how that would go though. With I mean, because Andrew,
Yeah,
man,
he is
Andrew's
his own
he's a
made-up
bulldog.
political party.
Andrew is a bulldog of a debater. He is vicious, and he does know how to cut people down. And I mean, it does it. I mean, I can't even like. I wouldn't even like have a desire to even like want to debate or like really talk, really have anything.
It was
Have anything.
frustrating. It felt like 2 or 3 hours that really went nowhere.
Well, I mean, I guess probably did technically go nowhere, but yeah. But you know, what I mean, I'm just like I like Andrew's not someone I'd ever.
He found me belligerent. He said,
I wouldn't want to debate him, not just because like it's not really because I'd be afraid about losing in an actual rhetorical sense, but like I don't have the kind of personality that can go up against that kind of blood sports like fuck you mentality that like Andrew has like when it comes to debating and stuff like that. Like I just like it's such an abrasive like style. I just like it's like my first like instinct when going up
he's
against
not
people
like
like
that
that.
with everybody though. I noticed there's some people that he stays nice with.
Oh, okay. I've every time I've ever seen him on even with Paul, and he's like, and him and Paul are kind of friendly, but even with Paul, he is like it just he seems just like he just seems like a what is it what's the dog that has like the jaws that'll just like grab on and like they won't they won't like they just won't let go, like they lock on
Doberman pinscher,
they like the
German
Dobermans or
Shepherd,
whatever.
pit
Like,
bull.
they'll just like
I
a
don't know.
pit bull, yeah. They just like the pit bull kind of like just like that. His jaws just like lock in, just like he just like will just keep like squeezing until you like. And he tends to be like the shouty kind of like he'll just keep like just keep punching at you even when you're trying to respond and that kind of thing. And I don't really like that kind of style of
That didn't bother me. I mean, that was me and Joshua Jones style too. When we argued with each other,
yeah, but
I'm
Joshua,
so
I mean,
used to that style. It doesn't even
Joshua
bother me at all. I don't even notice it.
Joshua isn't nearly to me. It wasn't nearly as
With me, he was. Yeah, when it got heated between us, he was with me.
oh.
It's on stream.
Yeah, I guess I mean I'm sure I was there, but it never seemed like it was anything close to like the way I've seen Andrew go before. But I guess it's just like maybe it's partially just Andrew's tone of voice. Then maybe it's just like he just sounds like such a prick. It's just like I just I feel he reminds me of like a drill instructor, right? And like a drill sergeant, like in the military. Like, that's why I've always said, like, I know for a fact that I was never going to be able to go in the military, because I know what happens whenever somebody gets up in my face and starts yelling at me. Like, I will
Oh
fucking
yeah,
laugh
me
at
too.
them. I would start. I just be. I would laugh. I get my
Oh
ass kicked. I
no,
would
I
get.
left. Let me tell you what happened. This white lady came on and started talking nonstop, like talking and talking and talking. And it was like the blah, 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 like in the movies when someone's talking and they time lapse forward to show how much they're talking. It was like that in real life, like the real life version of that. And then this other lady came in and she started talking. And I sat there for it felt like an hour, and these two women just talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, and it completely burnt me. I had to just I was like my battery just died from all like so much of them talking. They completely like the conversation, whatever conversation we were having before they showed up, it went nowhere after that. They
Well,
completely
Speakeasy
hijacked.
usually
They
usually
stayed on
moderates pretty well.
topic, but they just talked constantly about whatever their version of the topic was.
Yeah, it
And I
doesn't
just
sound
did
fun.
it. I just went limp.
It does not
It
sound fun.
was Redington. It was so bad. I didn't even realize how, because it takes me a while to realize like how hot the water's getting in the pot. I didn't realize how much they were sapping me until I was almost like completely depleted of vitality. And then it hit me like, you got to get off of here. These women are draining the life out of you. And they were.
Yeah, yeah. I guess
And that
I've
was, and
definitely.
oh, here, and Easy moved it up. He's like, well, we're going to stay till 3 in the morning instead because we got started later. And when he said that, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to. We were like half an hour away from the end. And then when he moved it up to 3 a.m., I knew there was no way I was going to be able to be in there for another hour. So that's when I left. So I didn't stay till the end to see who won. But there was hardly anything to debate, really. The topics were not very engaging. We kind of pretty much agreed or pretended to agree on a lot of them just so we could move on. And there wasn't a lot of debate and discussion until those ladies showed up, and then they did all of the debating and discussing, or mainly just the talking. It was even reciprocal.
I think like I haven't gone on many other panels in much lately. I did I did go on TML's panel on Wednesday. Where
Oh, was
yeah
I on that one?
I mentioned it the other day, like yesterday or something like that. Um, but yeah, because I didn't intend to. I hadn't intended to go on to it. I was trying to go to sleep, and I couldn't sleep. Like I've been having bad insomnia lately, and so I clicked on TML stream just to see, like, because sometimes I put on uh streams like
So you
that,
went
just
on
like
the stream, and what happened? Did any drama happen?
no, yeah, I really wanted to, but Sarah was on there, or Mindfucked, as she's usually in the comments, and she was talking about, like, her she has a prophetic view
Yeah,
of
she
Revelations.
was the telepathy girl when I
Yeah,
first met her.
and
And time.
but she was saying some things I thought she was saying some things that I thought were really insightful and intelligent. And so I was like, fuck, I got to jump up. I had to jump into this because it actually was a conversation I was interested in having, and we ended up having a really cool conversation. It was one of the most it was probably my favorite, of all the times I've had on, besides this panel, but all my appearances on other people's panels. It was the best time I've ever had on another panel besides ours, because it was
Was it mostly you and Sarah?
no, it was no, because there was like, I can't remember, there's this one guy that was like Rock E.
Oh yeah, Rocky.
Rocky was on there, and then Wiz was on there, and Wiz was like really, like, being really, like, belligerent and, like, and yelling and screaming about stuff. But still, it was like, because Wizard was being a real prick, but at the same time, but it still managed to it was weird because I went on real late too, as Redington said. It was pretty late in the thing. It was like 2 a.m, and I'd been trying to sleep. I was like half awake when I called in, but it was really a good stream. It was very me and Sarah actually had a really productive kind of back and forth about our views on the biblical stuff and where we got our ideas from. We actually end up agreeing on a lot of stuff that I didn't I don't know I don't normally get agreement from people on. And then Wizard was on there just kept spurging about how he doesn't think that Jesus. He talks about being a Christian, but he doesn't think that Jesus matters and all. It was kind of weird and stuff. And yeah, it
He
was
just
really it was fun. It was fun in a way that I hadn't had fun on one of those panels in a while, because it was it still felt like it was progressing. The conversation progressed and actually went somewhere, despite there being despite there's being some spurging here and there and that. And it was a good time. It was one of the few. It's one of the few times I've been on another panel in recent months, the last month or so, I actually thought it went pretty well. Besides this one, I always have fun on our show, but that's different. Anyway, hey, what's going on? We got Chuck, Redington, MoOse, all of a sudden, all at once. As you know, we had nobody, and now we have. And
yeah,
then we're five.
iPhi got tore to shreds last night.
Oh, he did.
That's
I
what I
tried
heard.
to. Oh, I tried. Oh, I was feeling for. I was hurting. That's how
I'm
Noman empath.
talking.
I was feeling so much pain over watching. It was cringe.
I kind of feel bad watching anybody talk to Andrew to a degree, though.
But he took he didn't. Well, at the end he did roll over actually, so I can't even say that. Yeah, he just
But
completely rolled over and agreed with everything Andrew was saying.
Andrew wasn't exactly being mean. He was just being factual.
Yeah, he's being Andrew, basically.
Yeah, he was persistent.
Chuck,
and
But
and
I mean I was agreeing with I didn't me and Andrew were on the same page. We didn't even
oh really?
argue with each other because there was nothing we disagreed on.
Oh, okay. Andrew is one of the panelverse people that I am making into I am turning into a character in this script I'm working on for sure.
Who's gonna play him?
I don't know. It's going to be a combination of Andrew and probably a couple. I'm not going to make anybody right now
Is
at this stage.
Paul Unslaved getting his own character, or are you
No,
folding him into
I wouldn't even know how to start with that because I still have never actually watched Paul Enslaved except for 20 minutes maybe,
or
and
Tom?
I don't get I find him to be utterly banal and boring. I would have no reason. He's not. There's so many interesting people.
I do not see the
There's
appeal. The one I
there's so
saw, he
many.
was streaming from a camper. From
Yeah,
the
he's
side
just
of
a bird.
Whenever with all of the really fascinating, colorful characters we have on these panels, Paul Enslaved is one of the last people I would consider to base to kind of to try to take inspiration from for a character. He's just not. I mean,
okay.
I'm not really even. I might. I kind of I jokingly when I was working with the Gemini thing, I jokingly put one in there for myself, but I was kind of making fun of myself with it. But I probably not even use that character because I don't think I'm interesting enough for the for the colorful characters that we have. I think my essential my persona in stream and panelverse is ultimately is not nearly colorful enough to I would seem like the most boring character amongst all of them. So we have so many and I didn't like I said I mentioned that yesterday. I didn't even realize how crazy and colorful all of our the people were until I started listing them out. I started listing out oh, there's this person and this person. I was like, shit, this is these are some really crazy. These are characters that if I had just created these characters out of nothing, I think some people would probably. I'm gonna have to tone some of it down. Otherwise, people are gonna think that I'm making hard. If I wrote the characters as the people really are on the streams, people would think that I was just making up
That's why I'm wondering if we need to even fictionalize it, or
Well, it has to be fictionalized because it's gonna have like horror elements and stuff like that.
It's
I mean, we
like,
can have people play themselves. We can have people play themselves. I mean, that's
yeah,
possible.
it's like living in New Orleans or Vegas.
Hey, have you seen the new Talcott clip collections that came out
No,
today?
what is that?
It's 13 minutes of Jack Talcott. He flew out to Israel to go
What?
defend,
What?
and now Hamas is
Palestine.
Wait, what?
Hamas is now going. They've charged Jack as being a terrorist, so Hamas is going after him. You got to see it. It's 13 minutes of gold.
Is this like for real?
I mean, he didn't actually go to get on a plane or anything, right? I mean,
I mean,
like,
you got to see the clip to
show.
Talcott clip collection.
Please provide the link in the private chat, and we shall view it together.
I don't know. I need to check it for copyright.
Okay. Right.
Talcott clip collection won't strike you.
I think I tried to play one from him a while back and got hit.
There was one that had some music in the background that we stopped playing, but I don't even know if we don't know for sure it was copyright.
Jeff doesn't have a pretty good record with this.
Yeah,
playing stuff.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We have a very bad record on the show of trying to play any, which is just is so.
Oh no, the whole thing is music. The whole thing is set to music. I'm not going to risk it.
Never mind.
But
I don't understand. So I don't understand like how like that like they can put that up on YouTube and it's got the music in it, doesn't get copyright struck, but then if we play it on our stream, then we get copyright struck. I'm just like, okay, like what the.
Well, there's a difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike. Like a strike is bad, but a claim is just saying that's somebody's song or something that you use, and it does no detrimental stuff to you.
Yeah, it's a takedown notice. It's like, and sometimes it's
they'll take down your stream though. That's the problem.
No, they take down the video. They take down the video.
That's what I mean. That they take down the
until you take that part out.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a strike, then they don't take down anything. If it's a claim, like all it would do is if you were monetized, it would give that monetization to the other person.
Well, that's what I thought too, MoOse. But like I played a 15-second clip the one show that I did the one time when Jeff was out and I did Outliers on my channel. I did a 15-second clip from a video, a VHS, somebody recorded on their phone like a performance from a section from Avenue Q, and I got the video was not available until I went and took that audio out.
7 seconds is the limit.
7 seconds now. I used to be 15.
Anything past.
I got a better idea. We'll watch it all in the movie channel together tonight.
That's fine. That's fine. I just
yeah,
I wish we could watch it on stream. It's just like for some reason, like I think they take streams, they're more like harsh on streams than they are on uploaded videos for some reason. I don't understand why that is.
Yeah, I don't get it either because everybody else plays this stuff.
Yeah, and we're a tiny channel. We're a tiny channel. I mean, we have 211 subscribers. We do not have like enough people for it to be like.
I thought it was all like bot driven anyway.
It is. I know it's all bot driven.
If you trigger the bot signal, then you're gonna get struck. Your size doesn't matter.
Like that clip that got that little like audio clip that I used in that one in the one stream I did. It wasn't even like it wasn't on like a channel from like a major. It wasn't on like, it wasn't like owned by anyone. It was like someone's like home recording, phone recording of the thing. So like it was like, and it wasn't like they didn't do the strike. The strike came from like
you said whatever. It was for the song though. Like the bot detected the song. It doesn't matter the quality of the video.
I know, but I'm saying, but that video was already up on YouTube. I took it from another YouTube video. And the YouTube video that it was from, that video was up, but they took down the entire stream from my channel until I removed the audio that was already up on someone else's channel publicly. That's my point, is that like for some reason it's okay for that person to have that on their channel.
Right. I think like when there's like the live streams get combed.
Yeah. It's like
they might not have, a bot's not going to have reason to comb an archive video that's just sitting on YouTube that nobody's playing. But the content that's being streamed, they can comb while it's being streamed live, and that's when they catch it.
I guess I don't know. It doesn't make it still doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's like the rules are very inconsistent, and it seems really
I do know that they scan the live stream, and that's the only thing that has to make sense to me. Like they're scanning the live stream, so don't do copyright stuff because their scanners will pick it up. Like, it's so simple to me.
I mean, it is simple. I mean, I'm not like just utterly confused. I just think it's silly and frustrating. That's all. Anyway, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, it's what it is, though. I don't use copyrighted stuff for that reason. Because every time I try to, I get the takedown.
Yeah, I for example, I don't say like TML will like straight up just play like all kinds of music on his.
I know. I don't know how he does. His stream gets taken out a lot, or he'll have to restream it, like repost.
He does have to re-upload a lot of times because of a song, but he still has tons of streams that are up that have tons of music on them, but that didn't. So, you know, and I would understand a lot more of like it was like, you know, if like we were like playing like a Taylor Swift song or something like that, you know, like because like that we like, you know,
I guess it's I don't try to rationalize it as much as you, because it just makes sense that they're going to scan streaming like content as it gets streamed, and so my mind stops there, and I don't try to rationalize or make sense of why they're not doing it on all these other channels.
Sure. And if it really made us mad enough, we would just move to Rumble or something like that, or whatever. I guess anyway, because my understanding.
I mean, as long as I stay away from, because every time I get copyrighted, it's usually from some music company. So it's like professional corporate conglomerate label something. It's not like an individual person.
No, it's not.
As long as I stay away from songs that are likely to be copyrighted, I'm usually fine. It's when
they need their money.
Yeah, it's when I play something that's copyrighted from some label, like music label, some pop song, like that Beyonce song that one time, or that song from that video Jack wanted me to play with the Satan people. Yeah, that whole video was from a record label. The whole background track was their copyrighted music.
Oof.
Yeah. Which, I mean, honestly, I think, and it's really the labels, they're doing themselves complete disservice by doing so too. Like whether they realize it or not, that what they're doing is they're really shooting themselves in the ass every time they're doing that, because like if someone just is playing just a clip or even using the song in the background or something like that, like that's really promotion for their band, their music, and like especially if the channel isn't monetized, nobody's making money off of it. So no one is doing anything, that no one's making money off of them, and no one is doing anything besides promoting their music. So they're actually limiting their reach when they do that. It's really silly. But you know, whatever. They do what they do. So, what's up, MoOse? I haven't talked to you in a minute. MoOse is silent.
How do MoOse say? Where do MoOse go? Like, was there a MoOse on the CNC? Did it say anything?
MoOse sound. They kind of have like this weird, like scream kind of sound. They're very.
Scream?
They sound like yeah, exactly.
Like have you heard a deer? Yeah.
Sounds preoccupied.
Yeah.
It's like a cross between like a deer.
Totally think that was a MoOse if I heard that in the woods.
It's like a cross between a deer and a cow, kind of like how a bull kind of sounds like, you know, like it's kind of like a cross between those kind of things. Yeah, but they'll make those growling kind of sounds, and like, but at the same time, like, have you ever heard like a deer kind of cackle or kind of scream?
Maybe
like
there's one on YouTube. I hope it's not copyrighted. Are they copywriting MoOse these days? MoOse calls.
At this point, who knows?
MoOse noise.
Who owns MoOse, right? Who owns MoOse sounds?
All right, oh shit, I gotta watch a video.
Be like Universal Studios or something.
Oh fuck!
Which video?
I gotta watch some ads until it lets. I can't see the MoOse till I watch ads.
Chuck, are you voting for Trump?
They've made like the survival in the wilderness movies. There's like one with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin long time ago. It was called The Edge. It was about like where they fought the bear, right?
Ooh, that's scary. That's not a creature. It's demon. Especially if I heard that in the woods at night.
What
It
the
sounds
hell?
hurt. It's like I want to go help it at the same time. Ooh.
Imagine walking into your friend's house and hearing that coming from the bedroom.
So MoOse, this is nothing like the MoOse sound that you gave us. So what's up with that?
But I think I described it pretty well. Then it's kind of a little like a bull between a bull and a deer, right? It's kind of like it's got a little bit of that deer cackle to it, but it's kind of like got a deep kind of bull moo sound to it. But
very cute, Gary Baxter. Very cute.
Yeah, it's very cute. I was just thinking, like I've seen, we've seen movies where like people had to like survive in the wilderness with like savage bears after them. We've seen movies like there was the one with Liam Neeson where it was like
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear was not good though. That movie is boring as shit. It's really bad actually. I thought it would be funny too, and it was not. But I was talking about there's the serious one, The Edge, with Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins that came out in the 90s. It's like these two men get like trapped out in like this like out in the wilderness, and there's like this bear, and they have to they're getting like hunted by this bear, and then there's the one with Liam Neeson. What's that?
A killer moose?
No, I was just thinking there needs to be a movie
there's
like that.
There's no story with a moose yet. No movie with a moose.
Yeah,
that would be scary. Yeah, just that
survival
sound,
versus moose.
Because voice track alone.
Moose are really aggressive, angry. Like I said before, like
a predator moose. Moose has a predator, but as a moose.
Yeah. Seriously, I actually think. I mean, people would probably think it sounds silly. It's like a survival movie where people are trapped for having to fight back against a moose that's out to kill them. But that would honestly be more terrifying to me than the bear or the wolves.
Yeah,
because
just hearing the sound was creepy to me.
Because and not just mention the fact that they're massive. Like a bear, you can kind of scare off. You can kind of scare a bear off in certain ways. My understanding, and I haven't encountered a moose in real life. But I know people that live in Alaska that have encountered and actually have come face to face with moose before, and they literally have told me that like moose, there is no scaring them. There's nothing you can either, if you could kill them if you have like a shotgun or something, maybe you could possibly, but even that, like, I mean, it would take a lot to like actually take the moose down if it's a full size like mama moose, and it's relentless. You can run, and you can eventually, if you have a car or something, you can eventually get away, but those things will chase you for a long time. They're relentless. And they will not stop until they have like just like they can wreck cars.
I'm surprised there's not like a killer moose movie yet.
I think but it's all Bullwinkle's fault. It's all Rocky and Bullwinkle's fault. Because of Rocky and Bullwinkle, people think of moose as like silly, goofy horn cow things or something like that. They're just like like reindeer or something like that. They think of them as being like silly.
Was he the dumb one? Was he kind of dumb?
Yeah. Hello, Rocky, or whatever. I don't really sound.
I remember Rocky was a little squirrel, and was that with Boris and Natasha, same people?
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. Yeah, Rocky was a flying squirrel, and Bullwinkle was the dumb moose.
They used to play after school, but I never understood the plot. I watched them, but I never followed the plot.
Yeah, sure. It was. Or I guess it'd be more Canada against the commies. So really, because
that was all over my head as a kid. It had no, like, they weren't fighting superhero, like they weren't superheroes fighting villains or crime or anything like that. So I didn't understand any of it.
Natasha and Boris
were both Russians. Yeah, they're Russian.
Yep.
They're Russian agents that were constantly being foiled by Moose and Squirrel. Yes, be foiled by Moose and Squirrel again.
Yearly. That's wow. That does call for a horror movie.
No, I mean, like I said, there's a stupid fucking radio ad that plays every time I actually listen to the radio in the car. If I forget to like plug, bring my phone or something to like play, because I usually just play music off my phone. But
What was
but if there's a stupid fucking radio commercial where it's like an Allstate or like State Farm commercial or something like that, and it's like the whole commercial is like this woman's like calling in to State Farm and is like, I'm just wondering like what I would need to do if there's like let's say like a moose were to like get angry at me and is trying to get into my car right now and all this stuff like that, and he's like, oh, just make a claim on the app and all this stuff like that, and like the whole time back in my head every time I hear this commercial I'm like that bitch is dead. She dead. Like there's no claim. There's no claim coming. That bitch is dead. That woman is not. And the thing is like, and what if he eats my phone? And like and then and like it cuts out, and it's like it's supposed to be like comical, and I'm like thinking like that's not a funny commercial. It's not funny at all. That is like it's like an audio snuff film. Like this is the last sounds. That if that was a real call, those are the last sounds that woman will ever make. That moose would have gored her to death seconds later. They're more aggressive than bulls, more aggressive than bears.
This is all what your friends told you, so it's like moose gossip.
No, I've even read it. I've read about it. I've read about it too. Like I didn't know because after people told me about it, I got kind of interested. And I find some wildlife stuff pretty fascinating. Like we've all seen the honey badger videos and stuff like that. So like stuff like that. There's actually a really good channel. This guy does a really funny nature channel. Guy, he just does like funny nature videos. It's called what's it called? I can't say.
Put the link if you find it. Chuck, what were you going to say?
It's a play off of National Geographic.
I'm going to say, Chris, them squirrels are dangerous. You ain't seen that commercial where they're out in the street throwing nuts and then they make a car run off the road and they high five each other for some car accident company?
Yeah. Squirrels are pretty devious. But they're small, and if it came up to it, it came down to it. I think I might could even win a fist fight with a squirrel. But if I had to try to fight a moose with my bare fist, yeah, I'd die for sure.
I had to fight a possum last night.
Damn, possums are nasty creatures.
No, on my back porch.
Oh.
Man, them
possums
things
are nasty fucking things.
Yeah,
they usually run. Like if you shine the light out.
No, not these. They'll rear up and snarl and hiss at you. But he was no match for the pellet rifle.
Oh,
nice.
He was trying to eat my cat's my cat's food that was on the porch.
Yeah. I don't know if like somebody like hunted them all to extinction in the area, but my parents used to have like possum issues like that, but they haven't seen them in a long time now. Like it was years and years back when the last time I saw them. I think one of the good old boys out there like set traps or something and like got rid of them all. There haven't been possums around there in a while. You still occasionally get like coyotes and stuff. You can hear the coyotes at night out there. They live.
I've only seen one coyote since I've lived here.
I see here in Texas, man. I see coyotes. I see coyotes here in Dallas, even. I see coyotes on the side of the freaking highway.
Damn.
yeah. Coyotes are kind of like I think like they're not terribly intelligent either. They're kind of like wolves without the dignity and the grace that or the intelligence. They're just kind of like they just kind of like seem like just mangy, like I mean they look like they just look like mangy dogs, really. But they're
don't talk about the Mexican people like that.
Dude.
I couldn't resist. If Joe Cool was here, he'd have tore me up for that one.
Nothing like a good shock laugh, just a good shock.
It was all meant
laugh.
in jest. Nobody please take offense.
Oh, I don't think we will. No, I mean, I don't know what I was gonna say. I had a joke I was gonna follow it up with, but I lost my train of thought. So never mind.
I was reading a story this morning, talking about that Kansas City parade shooting, and
Yeah.
one of the people dropped their guns, and some guy picked it up and ran with it. He was. It turned out he was a convicted ex-felon or whatever you want to call it that wasn't supposed to have firearms. He thought he saw a freebie and tried to steal it and run.
They
Unrelated
found
to
him.
the shooting. Yeah, somebody pointed him out to the cops, and they went and nabbed him, and they arrested him for a felon in possession of an illegal firearm. But yeah, the people shooting at each other got into a fist fight, and one of them dropped their gun. So this guy picked it up and thought he had a freebie.
So this wasn't like I didn't hear much about it. So it wasn't like a mass shooting. It was like a fight that broke out that like turned into like gun violence.
Well, there was what 20 people that ended up in the hospital.
Was this the parade thing?
Yeah, it was just a story I was reading this morning.
No, yeah, I just I heard about it. I saw like just like a blurb about it, but I did not really know much about the situation. So I was I didn't realize I assumed just from what I'd heard. I figured that the way it was mentioned, it made it sound like it was like another mass shooting type thing. But it sounds like instead it's like more like a fight that broke out that just like turned violent or something like that.
Yeah, they started shooting, but I mean there was a lot of gunshots that went off.
But it was like a gunfight between two
Welcome
groups of
to the
people.
USA.
I think that's the way it was probably a Chiefs fan against a 49ers fan or whoever they played in the Super Bowl. I've seen that crazy stuff happen in St. Louis
Dear God, I will
over a
never.
sports team.
Yeah, I'll never understand the mentality that drives people to riot when their team wins.
Yep. And that was two teenagers that did all the shooting in Kansas City.
God, it's just like I mean, like it's just like there's even I don't know. There's just like there's never any good excuse for any of that kind of shit in the first place. But like the reasons that people typically will take as excuses to go and do and let's riot shit and stuff like that. It's always so stupid. It's just like it's
Yep.
so frustrating to try to like have a positive view on humanity and then see people doing shit like that. It's just like it's like it's like there's some people out there that just really want to give humanity a bad name in general. Just like it's just like I said, I'll never understand the psychology of a person who thinks, "Woo, my team won the Super Bowl or something. Let's go out and destroy our city." Like,
No, Jonathan. Flo was at home sick, asleep. His wife and kids, or his girlfriend and kids,
Or maybe
were
that's
on the
just what they want
corner.
us to think.
Were on the corner where it happened at. He didn't know nothing about it till they got home and told him about it.
I'm glad they're safe. That's scary as fuck.
I don't think it sunk in all the way from watching her last night on Cynthia's.
About the parade thing.
Well, I'm sure they
Yeah.
got the hell out of there as fast as they
'Cause
could. I mean,
Did they see it at all, or they were just on the corner?
She heard the gunshots and she saw the smoke from the
The gun?
shot.
Oh.
And then when people started clearing out, I think she saw one of the bodies. Now you know Sarah, right?
Yeah.
From Flo's channel.
Mhm.
She that the girl that got killed, she went to school with. She knew the
no.
family. Mm-hmm.
Very small panel verse.
Ain't it? Well, she's
It really
originally
is.
from Kansas City, so.
Oh, Sarah is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
She's
you're
just
talking
in
about Sarah. You're
Hawaii
talking about the
because
Sarah that goes by Mindfuck, the girl
Psychic
I
yeah,
talked
Sarah?
to.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, her. Okay, yeah.
Sarah Schwimmel or Schmimmel or whatever her name is.
She lives in Hawaii, I think now. But yeah, I think she did
Oh,
mention
I
that.
didn't know
but,
that.
Her boyfriend got stationed there, so she moved to Hawaii to be with him.
Mm. I think she's a pretty nice, intelligent woman. I enjoyed speaking to her the other night quite a bit.
You think?
I had a good conversation with her on TML's show.
You're right, Jeff.
Sounds like you don't. You might not.
old Jeff almost spit out your drink.
What's wrong? I don't understand.
Just the way Chuck said it.
Oh, you just gotta drop them every now and then, Jeff. Catch people off guard.
I guess I missed the joke. I'm sorry. I'm confused at the moment.
It was the tone of my question that caught him off guard.
It passed anyway. Yeah, we're talking about Sarah.
No, I was just saying.
Because you were saying that you went on Machines the other day to talk to her.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and it was a good conversation. That was it. That's the end of story. Yeah, I mean it's on. You know, you can go see it on TML show from Wednesday. It's all in there.
All part of the public record.
Yeah, I think Lindsay made a mistake last night trying to go up and defend Jack against Scott. And that was mild.
This is like more complicated than an actual soap opera.
Oh yes, it is. I'm gonna have to get one of Cynthia's whiteboards, you know, with the strings and the pictures.
I need a Clarence update on all of this.
Clarence.
Remember the black guy that would update the soap operas on the radio? He'd call in every day. Y'all might not have had him. He's probably on YouTube. Yeah, he was this black guy, and he would update. He was syndicated. The radio stations could buy him, and if your radio station bought him, you would get his little.
He made a buck then.
That he would pretend to call in and give.
And that's the main problem. Is trying to do like a summary show from the panel versus that I need like a dedicated person that's dedicated to following each stream, and then we have to like get together once a week and then confer and figure out like how everything
once a day. The speed is going now, like lately.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, we'd have to kind of document the week's thing because like it's too much to do every day.
I need a chart of who's fighting with who currently because it keeps changing.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with.
Panel soup. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and that's the idea is panel soup. That's what the show is not what's going to be called, but that's what I mean. It's probably going to end up just being more like just clips, just funny clips because I don't have any way.
And we have a variety of opinions on Sarah.
Okay, I don't know what people's problems they have with Sarah.
I mean, I don't know her that well.
I've encountered her only on our channel, and she's been on our stream once or twice, and she's been very kind on here, and she's been nice in our comments, and that's all I know about.
That's the end of that. That's all we gotta say about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Sarah.
What are the emojis? Nurse.
She's heavy in the MK Ultra though.
Oh. Like studying about it, conspiracy wise.
I mean, MK Ultra isn't actually a conspiracy. It isn't a confirmed thing that really happened. I mean,
I don't want to say that. I'll let her tell the story.
Okay.
Even though she's put it out there a bunch of times, I feel like it'd be taken in the wrong context.
Mr. Me OG.
Okay, so my browser has frozen up entirely. I'm probably about to drop off because I got to restart the browser because I can't.
We can see you and hear you just fine, but yeah, do what you have to do.
Yeah, I can't see anything. Like everything just went black, and it's just like I got the Mac little like spitting thing. So I was letting you know. Like I'll be right back.
Yeah, StreamYard will sometimes freeze up on me.
StreamYard mine will give me the like low bar icon, low signal icon. What'd you say, Chuck?
I was going to say, this ain't no airport. We don't have to announce our departure.
Oh,
I was just trying to lighten the load, was all. Yeah, I didn't see much in the news as far as anything worth talking about.
I haven't either in a while, which I guess is good news.
As long as I'm not in there, I'm
Not
happy.
a lot on Twitter either. So that's
right.
I don't do Twitter or Twatter or whatever it's called.
It's called Twitter.
Actually, it's not even called that anymore, is it?
Well, no, you're right. It's called X.
Where'd they come up with these stupid
That's
names?
Elon.
Like what?
He's neurodivergent. That's bless his heart.
Didn't they change Facebook's name too?
Well, they tried to change it to Meta or something, but it didn't really go over, so they kept it as Facebook.
Okay.
They don't know what they're doing. They're at the end of their
the
little
parent
technology
company, though,
cycle,
right?
and they're like just reshuffling things at this point. They're not innovating.
What'd you say, Red?
It's the parent company, isn't it?
I think so.
Of Facebook
and Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, I think Elon's getting ready to make a move for Disney here pretty soon.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Yikes. I mean, I'm not a Disney fan, but I don't wish that on it. Like,
he teamed up with what's that guy's name? Peltzker or Peller, something like that. That's on the Disney board. He's like the outcast of the board, but he's teamed up with him to try to take over Disney. Well, Elon got mad at Disney because Disney Iger withdrew all their support for Twitter and blamed it on Elon. So Elon's going to get even with him.
He's like, I'll show you.
Uh-huh.
This is so silly. This is what rich men with
nothing better to do.
Yeah, sit around and do.
They'd fit right in on the panel verse.
Yeah, we're like the poor version of that.
Extremely poor.
We're that without the yachts and the mansions and the companies.
Hey, I got a yacht.
Oh, dude.
It's a paddle boat, but I call it a yacht.
Oh well, yeah. We have yachts too, all over.
Did you say panel boat?
Pedal boat.
Oh,
I might have said panel. I meant pedal. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say we need to do a panel boat.
Like the
we
Love
need a
Boat.
panel cruise.
We all live in a yellow panel. I feel like the panel verse is like a little boat we're all stuck in. Like we're all and everybody's turned to each other like they're hot dogs and burgers now. You know, everybody's like looking.
I'm not
real hungry. I'm just joking.
I got a submarine if you want to use it, Chris.
Like in your bathtub.
It's a 55-gallon barrel.
Oh.
You might not come back up, but you'll definitely go down.
Sounds like just what I've been looking for.
It is submersible.
Well, it's probably safer than the one they used on when they was doing the Titanic tours.
Damn. You know, like, hey.
There's word salad and there's word listening. Like there's listening salad too, and I noticed a lot of that around here.
Listening salad?
Yeah, where they hear shit in perfectly normal words.
Yeah, I suppose so. What in reference to what though?
His comment.
Well, like Paul. If you listen to Paul, Paul's just a bunch of word salad.
Yeah, that's why I don't really listen to him.
And Jack's getting to be the same way. It's just a never-ending loop. Yeah. Says something, but really says nothing. Well, he tried to be nice to me last night, Jeff.
Jack did? How did that go?
Mm-hmm. It lasted all about 20 seconds.
Ooh. What blew it?
It's just he started thinking about me more.
Sad trombone.
Sad
Wah,
trombone.
wah,
Wah, wah.
wah.
Yeah, that is true.
I wish I
don't
could
know.
live it in delusion.
I thought about basing a character in this thing I'm working on Jack too, but I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I feel like it's
We
mean
still
at
got
this
to
point.
read through your script when we have enough people.
Yeah. Sometime my old script, not the script I'm working on now, but like the script I'm working on now will.
Whoa, your
Be-
audio got a little scratchy.
Did it?
It's been doing that, yeah, almost. It's been fine for the most part. It was doing that earlier before we went on.
Was it?
Crap. I'll see what I can do. Hold on. If
I know
gets
it's
really,
like all of us use the same technology every single day. How is it that we have to relearn the technology every day?
for the most part with me, it's that that all of my computers that I have that are because I before I sold all my good computers and now all I have left is these old janky ones and they're all old and falling apart. I mean the laptop isn't really shouldn't be that bad, but it is it's slower than this thing. This old
Is that a
some of it is your
Bluetooth
tech.
headset?
You're like Nero. You're working with inferior tech or very primitive tech.
Is
comparatively.
that Bluetooth headset?
It's a Bluetooth headset, yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's actually not. It's actually a Bluetooth right now. It has a dedicated dongle thing for it. That doesn't use
Okay.
Bluetooth. It has a dedicated receiver USB connection that I'm using
Yeah.
for it because this iMac, this 2011 iMac, the Bluetooth chip went out on it a long time ago. It hasn't worked in a while, so
Now look,
can't
we're
use it.
gonna fight.
A fight?
So I put
No,
that
I'm
I put the channel that I was talking about in the thing that it's called Casual Geographic is the guy's name that does the funny animal videos. Anyway,
Oh,
just because it was when I went to go look for that is whenever my browser crashed. So if I have just one, it's fine. But if I have anything more than StreamYard, maybe one YouTube tab open, it tends to just flip out. So.
No, I was yelling at my cat, Jeff. Every time I get a drink, he wants to investigate what's in it.
it's not the same thing every time.
It's just coffee or soda or whatever I'm drinking at the time. Right now, it's an espresso, so he's got to figure out what that smell is.
Mm-hmm.
Got a nose problem.
Well, I guess he's right about his browser.
Abandoned ship. We lost Chris again, huh?
Yeah. He's backstage, but his device is not connected.
There we go.
I was trying to read Mr. Miyagi's question.
Oh, I just got it. Okay. Yeah, it was a question for a flat earther. It's this one.
What's it say? If you can detect how close you get to the dome by using an altimeter. An altimeter runs on pressure. Wouldn't you get a reading heading south or... No, there is no south reading devices. Everything is run by magnetic north. I don't know if the south is magnetic or not, to be honest with you.
I mean, flat earthers get stumped by just the idea that the Earth is a globe in the first place. So, I don't really think you need to like trip them up with much. I mean, I've literally heard flat earthers try to explain stars and the moon as being balloons, weather balloons that are hung high up in the atmosphere so that we think that there's a moon and stars, but there's
What a
really not.
trippy world they must live in.
They think movie projectors. Some of them think they're
never heard
movie
of that one.
projectors.
Like that one. That when I heard that one, I was listening to, I can't remember. It was way back. I mean, it's like we're going years back, but I was listening to a podcast I used to listen to. I can't remember what it's called now. I didn't listen to it for a long time,
Oh, this Channelverse.
but it was it was a straight up audio podcast, but it was like just like it was kind of like coast to coast AM kind of thing, you know, where it was like it was like he always talked to people about weird things, stuff like that, and like and I didn't even know this guy was supposed to be a flat earther at first. And I'm listening to this guy for like 45 minutes, just like they're just talking, just having like a chit chat type thing. This guy that he's talking to sounds so rational and calm and intelligent. He sounds like a really intelligent person. And then whenever like the turn into the flat Earth thing happens, it's like he maintains he sounds like an intelligent, well-spoken, well-educated person, but the things that are coming out of his mouth are so asinine and so like borderline like just like they literally it like broke my brain in a way. I was like, how can you how can you think those things and still manage to be able to like handle shoes? You know, how can you really think? How can you really think that the moon is a weather balloon that they keep up there just to trick? I mean, like, so how long has the moon been? So you're saying like what they put the moon in the weather balloon moon has been in the sky for like what for? I mean, because the moon has been worshipped by ancient civilizations, and I'm just like
No, there's a
everything
giant
about
projector that
right, a giant projector. But
displays.
once again, like how long have we had giant projectors? I mean, like so what's
I know.
like so like at one point did like we transferred like at one point I guess the Earth must have been a globe, and then we got all got like we all got gassed and then like placed onto a flat I mean like what are you even trying to like your internal logic, the internal logic of it doesn't even make sense. And then he was explaining his revelation moment of like what made him realize that, oh my god, it's all all the NASA's lies and everything. I can't remember what exactly the trigger moment for him was that did it, but it literally sounds like he had a psychotic break instead of like having actually any kind of revelatory moment. Because the thing that he said that like made him realize that the Earth must be flat was just something that was like it was like one of the same thing you hear most of them. Like he was on a plane and he looked out the window and he could not see the curvature or something. And I was just like that. Yes, first of all, you can. Second of all, like, do you not understand the concept of how large the planet is in comparison to how small a plane is, and just how small, it's just you don't understand like the fact that like over and a large enough. Whenever something is that large, it can look flat because you're not far enough back from it to see the curve. It doesn't make sense in so many levels to do even like I don't know. It makes my head it makes my head hurt to even that's why I can't even like I won't even like bother trying to debate flat earth people because like I just get to the point I'm just like but dude like it makes me because it makes me not like them. It makes it turns me against them in a guttural way because like I just can't I can respect a lot of weird ass opinions. I can respect a lot of people that believe in aliens and ghosts and demons and all that stuff. Some of the stuff I even believe in myself. But like flat Earth is one of those things that if I hear people seriously trying to like defend it, I'm just like I don't think I can be friends with you. Like I don't know. It's like that's my threshold. It's like I don't know how to respect you intellectually to have a conversation with you. I mean, I can tolerate your presence. It's not like I have to like I have to like leave every time you come into a room or something like that. But I can't be friends with that person. I can't respect them on a basic intellectual level. I just because unless they have a really goddamn good reason. I've never heard a good flat Earth reason ever. I just don't. I mean, it's fine. I mean, like, I'm not saying I really couldn't be friends with them. I'm just saying it make it hard to have conversations with them as well. As long as as long as we avoided the flat Earth question entirely, it would be fine. As long as they're not one of those militant flat Earthers, kind of like a militant vegetarian or something. I can't handle militant vegetarians either. People are just like that.
Yep.
Like they'll like go around if you eat meat anywhere. They'll be like, that you're blah blah blah, you're murder or something like that. I can't deal
Well,
with that.
since Jeff's one of the lizard people, he should be able to answer these questions.
Snake people.
Oh, snake. I keep
They're
getting it
not
mixed
lizard
up.
anymore.
Sorry.
No, they're snakes, nagas.
Uh,
The lizard is a myth understanding.
misunderstanding. Gotcha.
So Britt, you're actually a flat earther. Okay. Like, what do you have? What is your reasoning for it then? Like, I mean, I am willing to
Oh
hear
Lord,
out. I'm
Oh,
willing to
crossing
hear it.
my
I mean, in
fingers
the
to avoid
comments,
this.
I'm just saying, like, in the comments, I'm saying, like, if you have a good reason, it's something that actually makes sense. Then I'm willing to hear it. I'm not going to believe it. I don't think I can see the curvature of the Earth. So like, it doesn't. But if you have something that compels you to believe that, I could respect it. But the things I've heard so far have been so like. Have basically just been like the same. They sound like a child's interpretation of like why well I mean they sound like the way people like talk about how like cavemen would be like cavemen look in the sky and think that the stars are all fireflies that got stuck there or something. It sounds like explanations like that to me. They sound like nursery interpretations usually. So like I don't so I just want to hear somebody have like a really good um a really good explanation. See what a P1000 camera sees past the curve, literally. What does that mean? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. I hear you. Like like interplanetary travel for the common man. Although I have to admit, I don't think that even if that becomes common, even as much as like I'm fascinated by space. Like I think space is terrifying. I don't know. I don't know which is more terrifying, the deep ocean or deep space. Like I find both those things. I don't
Yeah,
feel
that's what I the ones I talk to. It's because NASA. Like I trust NASA. That's why I believe the Earth is round, and they see through NASA's lies, and that's why they're flat earthers.
Yeah.
That's the ones I've encountered.
Even though
Which I
people
don't
believe the Earth was a globe before NASA existed, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless that's just what NASA told us to think. I don't know.
right. I mean, maybe NASA's so powerful, even though even though they couldn't come up with a better solution for space travel than the space shuttle, which everyone kind of agrees was the shuttle program was a extremely costly, extremely like poorly designed like means of trying to do interplanetary travel, but still, I guess it worked. I mean, I think I think like all this. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the people at NASA that worked on like the original Apollo mission and stuff like that. Because like I said, that documentary Apollo 11 is amazing. All that it's all archival footage. None of there's not a single bit of footage in that was recorded in this decade or past the decade that from the leading up to it. It's all
It all came out
archival
of
footage.
National Archives.
Mm-hmm. And you can see, and I mean, I'm sure the flat earther types and everything, they'll be like, well, they just deep faked all that stuff. It's all done with CGI and special effects or something like that. But I mean, if they did that for just to make this shitty little documentary that nobody really barely saw and it's barely
lawn chairs though, and an umbrella.
You're right, it is. It's lawn chairs and an umbrella. That automatically makes
It's
it
so obvious to me.
It's so obvious. You're right, Jeff. I mean, man, I repent for all. I gotta admit, you're right. You and you and Flow State really brought me around this one. I know you don't believe that shit, man. I'm just joking. Why does flat Earth make more sense to you, Daisy May? Why does it make more sense?
I'm staying out of this argument.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to start to get sad.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. From now on, instead, let's just not ever speak of flat Earth in the channel again, because I don't want to think less of any of I really don't. I like all of our people in the comment world, and I don't know, guys. Like, there's some things that like I can, and I believe some weird stuff. I believe some weird, stupid, crazy things. Okay, I have thoughts in my head that I will fully
Why would
admit.
people voluntarily believe stupid, crazy things?
I'm just saying, like, because I've seen things in my life. I've seen like I've had experiences in my life that have led me to, like, it made it hard for me to deny certain aspects of supernatural type things and stuff like that that I can't rationalize. And so I have some crazy-ish beliefs maybe that people would think are crazy, and so I'm not immune to. I don't want to hate on people just because they have different beliefs than me. That's not my thing. I mean, I believe in Christianity in the first place, which is it's any kind of religion is kind of craziness to a degree. So it's a kind of an agreed upon mass psychosis, if you want to, for it on a logical level, but I don't know. Something about the flat Earth thing just like triggers me. I don't really know why. I just like because I don't know because the whole spinning globe thing makes sense to me anyway. It just seems logical. I don't know. It doesn't seem at all like I don't even understand like where the desire to where's the motivation to think and it's so and even if that's the case, even if we really if it is a flat Earth, if that is true, does it matter? Where does it
Nope.
matter? Does it change anything? Do we?
Yeah, and I think knowing reality is important. It matters.
I do. I do think it matters.
Around because reality matters.
Okay. I'm not
The
saying
point a lot of people make is that if they've lied to us about the Earth, then they've lied about everything else. The people in authority is
Yeah,
what
it's
they're
psychological more than anything else. That's how I see it as when I encounter flat Earth. Who mad? Who you be? Is that Lanza? Is that Browns? Tell me in the back chat.
Yes, Daisy. I am a Christian but from a very Gnostic perspective. Yes, but I don't. I see.
Of course, it's Lanza. Who else would it be?
The B.
It could have been Redington before me.
Someone's gonna use a big giant B to porn bob somebody at some point.
What's up, Who Mad? Or Lanza or whatever. What's up?
I just think like both sides always have a point, like both sides usually at least believe that they have a point, and the congruent point would be like the median would be like, take it for what it's worth.
What does that mean?
It means like if I like it means like I'm not gonna like I know tomorrow I'm not gonna shoot into space, and I know that I'm not gonna dig into some underground civilization. So there's not really much like it really matters other than like
yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I see.
I see. Yeah, I knew Chris would agree with that, and so, but my only question is like, if it isn't, say it's not either of them. I just don't think they're telling the truth. Like, regardless, again, that doesn't mean, huh?
You don't think who is? NASA?
I mean, I can't really say that like outright.
NASA is not the sole authority on whether the Earth is flat or not. People knew the Earth was a globe way before NASA. So I don't know why NASA gets brought in.
I see your point there. Yeah, because like it's modern. It's like modernism, right? So like back in the day in 1514 when Copernicus, constructed the theory as it's still known today. What is that like? I don't know, 700 years later or something like that. But as it was constructed, like that was modern at that time, you see? And today we are modern today. And so a lot of these beliefs and even like thoughts and ideas come from older times, and people hold on to them as if they're their own to whichever benefit they decide.
No, they hold on to them because they hold on to models, explanatory and predictive models of reality. That's why they hold on to them. And the paradigm changes as we refine the models. We go through these paradigm shifts.
Jeff, I think you actually explained that pretty well. And I will say that just like I feel like every time people catch up to it, science switch it up.
They switch it up because the paradigm changes based on the observable data and the experiments they run on the data, and they're always updating their theories and refining their theories. So science is designed to change.
That's true.
It's not dogma. It's not supposed to like uncover the ultimate truth once and for all. It's
That's
a
very
process
true.
of continually getting closer and closer to the truth.
Sounds
The
like
physical
job
truth
security to
of
me.
the natural world.
No, I get you though, but the cynical part of me says that's called job security.
But scientists were doing that long before there was a science.
And I just don't. My main thing is like I don't understand like what the motivation would be to lie about. Like what is like where's even the profit motive in convincing people that Earth is a globe?
Well, I mean, Chris, like I hear what you're saying, man, and I get what you're saying. But let me ask you this: like, if you were more confused, would you be easier to sway in a direction? You know what I mean? Like, not saying anybody's gullible, like, but you know, I don't know, like, I guess I just feel like it's let's say there is no motivation. Let's say it's just like, we don't care. We're going to lie. We just don't even care what the motivation is. We're just going to lie. Like that is a true place where people do come from. And
in people's personal lives, like I completely agree. There are certain, like a single person, an individual, will occasionally, and sometimes many people, and for not just occasionally, sometimes like habitually, can lie for no reason, for like absolutely without even a motivation to like do it. I've seen people do it. I think there's even like at the time, I think I can remember a time where like I was in like a weird social situation, and I remember saying something that was just blatantly untrue, and I caught myself doing it just because like I was just trying to like I was felt awkward, and I was trying to like get out of like a situation that I didn't feel comfortable in, and then but I mean so there was a motivation, but still at the same time like what I said didn't make any sense, and I felt really bad about it afterwards too. But at the same time I never saw those people again, so I guess it didn't matter. But you know what I mean? But sometimes people lie, and I get that, but like getting like this entire like massive group of people together. Now, you know, if
well,
like,
I'll tell you, I hear
I'll say
you
like
so
people
far.
that believe in simulation theory, people believe that we're living in a giant simulation. I would give that way more credence, than flat Earth.
Really?
Because
Why?
there's something there. I mean, like because I could see like there being like a reason.
Yeah. There's something. It's called an inherent lie.
What was that?
I said there's a reason that somebody would do it, man. It's an inherent lie.
Inherent lie. Okay.
Yeah, like with your social situation thing, like I felt like before you even were talking about that, I was already thinking about self-preservation. So like dude, I'm just gonna be honest, there are people that are alive right now that if it was not for the current system would literally not be alive. And that's from a medical standpoint.
People or white collar people?
Everybody. This shoots through every single dynamic. Where if the current system was not here, there are certain people that would not be alive. Like that's why there's so much presence on military-minded people, because we got to protect this, we got to protect that, because if we don't protect this or that, like, dude, we're done. You know, like there's like, I don't know if that makes. I think I might have gone too far there.
Okay, Redington. Like I see what your point there is about like if I'm just saying like I see more. I don't believe in simulation theory. Okay, anymore. I did for a little while because my life was going insane for like a while, and like whenever my wife started going into psychosis and everything else like that happened, I felt like I was going crazy, and I started thinking that maybe like life really like things really were a simulation because of the fact that like it just like nothing was making any sense to me at all, and like I felt like there was like something in my life had glitched, because I
wonder how much of this is mental health then.
I know what Chris is talking about. Everyone's had this before.
I know. I mean, and I'm not trying to judge anybody's mental health. I'm saying I myself was mentally unhealthy at the time, and I was feeling it because Lindsay was in psychosis. I didn't know what that meant, and I didn't know what she was doing, and she was acting so strange. She was acting like the way someone acts when they're in that state is very much, it looks like a person that's glitched out. Okay, it looks like someone who it's like a robot that broke down. Like she would just be sit there and like talking, like moving her mouth, but she wouldn't be talking to anything, and she was doing all these hand things like this, and I would sit here and watch her doing this stuff for hours, and just being like, this can't be real. This can't be real. This isn't real. Like this doesn't happen in life. This isn't something that happens in real life. So like something's got to be fucked up, right? Something's going to be wrong.
Good
You know,
point.
you start trying to rationalize it, and then eventually, you know, she got diagnosed, and I understood what was happening, and you know, now things are better. But I'm just saying, but like I understand how I could, and so in a simulation theory, yes, you're right. If everything's a simulation, then sure, the Earth could be flat, I guess. But the Earth could be any shape it wanted to be. It could be traffic. It could do donut. It could be donut shape. It could be whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't really matter at that point. If everything was really a simulation, it just like
well, yeah,
I'm just saying,
nothing matters at that point. You know, like you couldn't lie to somebody because I can't be lying to you because it's a simulation. You know, like there's a lot of that's a very first coping one, and like I'm not trying to hate on it, but like it allows a lot of falsehoods to exist.
Yeah, no, it does, and I'm not saying, when I said that before, what I was explaining was that I understand how people get to believe in like simulation theory because of the fact of what I went through, and like that's the reason that I started thinking that way. I never fully 100% like believed it, but I started thinking that way. I started thinking
you. Yeah,
I really started thinking that way because I was freaked out. You know, I was freaked out, and I didn't know how to deal with what was happening. I couldn't explain it, I couldn't logically explain what was happening in my own life. So
and most people, dude, most people can't. Most people can't like logically. And even if honestly, dude, I've done it before where you can honestly logically make sense of it, and I got to tell you, it still doesn't actually make sense. Like, even though you're like, oh, this actually fits in like how it should fit in, but like this is still crazy. Like, you know,
I agree completely.
So like that's something that everybody is, you know, I mean, what are the mediums of that, man? It definitely is a lot to do with technology.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, and like, I mean, and back then, also, that was actually at the time that was happening to me. By the way, that was also around the same time. I think that Elon Musk did that speech where he talked about, like, you know, about how like the likelihood that we're living in a computer simulation thing is like, you know, because of like the rate of growth of technology. He made that, so that was circulating a lot in the media too. So that was in the air. It was in the intellectual conversations of the time. There's a lot of people making videos and stuff about it and stuff like that. And
dude,
so like that definitely affected.
I mean, I considered that it was a simulation, but like I also know like that argument can be broken down as long as I mean, both arguments could be broken down that it you know, so you know, it's just like the simulation one does provide a lot of cop outs, I've noticed, and like and it has become popular because of that, because so many people have a hard time, you know, discerning what is real, because I mean, you know, they just there's a lot of money and a lot of power and influence behind social medias, from all the way to the military level. You know, I never was on Facebook, man. And I mean, I was, but like forever ago. And one of my friends and we kind of stay off of it as much as as possible. And like, I've never been on Instagram. I've never been on TikTok. I was on Twitter for like a few months, maybe in like 2012. And he tells me, he goes, my sister, somebody was saying like, oh, you know, the internet's going to tell you what to do one day or something. I said that to him. And he goes, what are you talking about? He's like, my sister, that's all she does is what the internet tells her to do.
What did that mean? Nobody does everything the internet tells them to do. Like,
dude, that's what I thought. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh man, she's on Facebook, like, because like they post events on all this stuff that's happening in the area, you know, and like there are people that are attracted to that type of like, I'll check out what's happening tonight and, you know, tomorrow.
I can see what you're saying, Sarah. I'm trying to keep up like the chat's been going pretty fast while like we've been having this conversation, so I haven't seen everything, but I see what you're saying, like that it's triggering because it's that was something that was embedded in a trauma state. Yeah, that's probably very true. It's probably very true. I do think that is probably a good explanation, a better explanation than the one I was thinking. Because if people are in a vulnerable state, they can be led to believe things that really strongly. I mean, basically a delusion at that point. But I mean, delusions are strongly held beliefs. You can't really talk somebody out of it. I mean, like when my wife was in psychosis, when she was having her delusions, I mean, she
That's
believed
true.
that I was dead. She believed that the person that she physically saw as me was not me, but was someone who had replaced me. I was a clone that had replaced me, and I specifically was made to look like me. And I was to watch her
No,
as a
she's starting
handler.
not to laugh.
What's
That was it. No, I just kind of like chuckled for a second. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
mean
no,
to.
no. It was. I mean, it is kind of fun. I mean, me and her laugh about it now, but I mean, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
at the time for her. She was terrified. She was terrified of me, and
Mm.
that's the reason why she acted the way she did towards me in that state, because she had
So, I see what you're saying. So it's like in the all in all, someone like say somebody in a state like that, or let's say 20% of the population of the world is in some sort of state similar to that, or 50%, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, adding things that would be considered stressors to a person's worldview would be rejected at first. Like I rejected that flat earth stuff. I was like I remember my dad told me, I was like, dude, you've fallen for so much dumb shit before. There's no way this is true. And then he like told me some stuff, and he was like, no, I'm pretty serious. And I'm like, dude, get out of here. So I was like, I'm gonna just prove it wrong, And yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. I definitely have like, I have what I think is true, and you're right. It. I would say though, the only thing is like, you just got to consider, because at the end of the day, if it's true or it's not, still should consider, because it shouldn't be an emotional thing. I don't think, because if it was, let's say it was a psyop, then it would be conditioning to be feeling bad in some sort of way. So that's what would drive somebody away from looking at it in the first place.
I guess.
And like, oh, hey, we lied to you since day one of your life. Like nobody wants to potentially see that, proof, I guess, depending on where they're at. But yeah, no, I mean, as far as being a good person in life, it has no bearing, in my opinion. You're right.
My thing isn't even that. I just don't understand like what the reasoning for creating some elaborate system of technology and all this like stuff to convince everyone that the Earth is round when it's flat.
Well, it would be like the same theology that would create different religions, to disrespect one or
but how does that?
one.
How would that affect a religion? Like I can't even see. So like if
flat Earth would probably not affect a religion.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if they did prove, if it was proven tomorrow, if they came out with definitive proof, they announced it, and that all science all agree that actually, yes, the Earth has been flat this whole time. We've been lying to you, and they announced this and everything. And I'm
I get you.
Beyond the shock of that, there's some people would definitely have like their freakouts about it or whatever. But beyond that, what would it actually affect? I mean, what would the actual change be?
So that's a big open-ended question. We don't have to get into that right now, because like that has to do with trade routes. We could get into it, but we don't have. I don't want to, and I'm not honestly the right person to do that with. But I'll agree with you so far.
I mean, I don't even see how trade routes. I mean, because like we'd still navigate the same way, because it's
because
not like
NASA owns all the trade routes. They own GPS. They own flight routes, flight paths.
But they wouldn't really. But they wouldn't actually. That wouldn't make those things any less. They would still own them.
You know what, man? It's kind of like I kind of thought about this today. I was like, a lot of things are not what they seem, right? Like I was thinking about this today, actually. Like there's a song out there called Dangerous Wonderland. And it's like a really cool like song. And basically it's like you're living in a dangerous wonderland. And like, I don't know, man, you know, who knows? I think it's above my head, honestly. But if you want my vote, I'll say that, you know, there's a chance that anything is true, but you know, I don't know. It doesn't really help anybody to put their foot in a category. Like, and no one's like waking up in their morning and being like, okay, the earth is flat. Now what? You know what I mean? It's like, it's more so like just a piece of information.
Well, I mean, but people get so into it. It's like becomes part of their whole persona, their whole personality, and their whole.
It becomes a religion, a religious doctrine.
Yeah, it becomes like this religious like doctrine, and I just like with religious doctrines though, I do understand like that. I mean, if you believe in an afterlife, you believe in what you know the definition of morality in that religion, and like and what makes, and ultimately I guess, and to some degree people see it as a way to define like if they're living the right kind of life, that sort of thing. I see all those reasons why the different religions like have like their the arguments between them. I get those. Because at least from like I mean I don't necessarily, it's not like I agree with them all or something like that. I'm just saying, but I understand that the flat earther ones, just point, it confuses me because of the fact that like I just don't even see like what it matters really. I mean, I guess that yes, the truth matters. Yeah, I get that. I think the truth matters. But I don't see how if it's if it's not, if it is that way, then I'm like then my life would go on the same way it has been going.
All it does is it just puts the foot in the door for you to be like, well, then what about everything else that they say about science? You know, like it just,
well, I question all that stuff anyway. You know, I question all that stuff. I mean, I question everything. So I always question things. I mean, so,
right.
So like, I mean, like, I mean, whenever I first heard people talk about, the flat earth thing seriously too, I listened to it. I didn't immediately be like, okay, they're, like, I don't immediately shut it out.
Oh, I did. I avoided it. I was like, yo, that's dumb. I was like, that's stupid. Like, I remember being like embarrassed that it was showing up on my suggested videos. Like,
so what changed your mind? Why did you start talking about it then?
And more importantly, what is the new topic, iPhi?
Oh, the new topic is first of all, I want to congratulate you on kicking ass on verbal combat, dude. You were kicking ass and chewing bubble gum, but you ran out of bubble gum. So
hardly anybody combated last night. And then when those white ladies came on and started talking, that was the end of it for me.
I don't know how it kept coming back to libertarian, like no matter what we were talking about. I was like, is this gang up on the libertarian day? Like, what the fuck?
Andrew showed up on the show like, I'm here to fight some libertarians. I heard they were
apparently he was like molested by a libertarian once and they stole his lunch money, or I don't know, but he needs to find help or something, because authoritarians aren't going to solve his problem. But anyways, does Sarah feel like talking about stuff? I don't know. She's in the comments, but I don't know if she's.
Oh, you're here for Sarah. I didn't make the connection. I'm bad at that kind of
stuff. Yeah. Sometimes I like to follow up conversations that I started a long time ago.
Yeah, Sarah. Well, she's welcome to come up as always.
Sorry to derail who mad, but I have a theory. The Earth is round. We proved this shit like centuries ago, and like definitely ended all debate like 50 years ago. So like anyone who even talks about it is like either willfully retarded or just deceitfully bored, or I don't know what kind of mental illness causes that. But okay, he's gone.
You ran him off.
Later, dude. Anyways, so now that we all know the Earth is round, we can talk about more intelligent shit, I guess. So,
I mean, we weren't really arguing about whether or not the Earth was round or flat. I was talking more about I was talking about like the psychology behind and what it is that motivates someone.
That's what it is, Chris. That. It's psychology. It's the same guys.
I said the same thing.
It's the same guys that were wearing the tinfoil hats and saying
with the conspiracy theories.
That the government was controlling their brain waves with the satellites, and it was, creeping into their thoughts and telling them to do evil shit. And so the only explanation is that there's this flat Earth that's built on turtle shells, and that explains why the lizard people are really forming the Illuminati masonry.
Snake people.
Turtle shell I mean, I feel you. I'm not trying to hate on what you just said at all, because like it's a totally valid, place to come from. I'm just saying another totally valid place to come from on the turtle shell perspective is the turtle shell. Actually, the sections on the shell are representative of the phases of the moon cycles on every single turtle. So that's pretty dope. And it's away from the topic, and it's away from what people were like talking about, like whatever. Rigidly.
Apparently, Sarah's still doing her taxes, so she can't chime in.
I don't know what. I don't know. What are you talking about? Moon phases?
Help me, Jeff. Help me.
Yeah.
You're making it worse. Chris is like, tell me more.
All right, who likes turtles? I like turtles.
I like turtles.
I like turtles. Sure.
I like turtles.
I rescued a turtle from a turtle from a highway once.
Nice.
There's a turtle trying to make its way across a rather busy highway and out in Texas, and we saw it and we were like, the turtle was booking it, but like he was not going to make it, so we stopped and we grabbed him. He was the angriest, most like vicious turtle I've ever.
Yep.
ever
it was probably a big one. I bet you. What was it like? The oversize of a basketball?
About this big. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. They're trying to take your limbs off almost.
Yeah. He was not. He was.
And they hiss, right?
Yeah, he hit. He did not cower inside his shell at all when we picked up. He had his claws and his legs out. He was trying to get away.
Turtles are amazing, man.
He was on a mission. To get, but we just we didn't know what to do with him because we were figuring like we'd put him back on the side of the road. He apparently was just gonna book it back for the road again because we tried that once and he just kept going. He went right back into the road.
So they're not the brightest creatures.
So apparently Sarah believes that there are mind control waves or something. So we might need to bring that up in our next conversation because
maybe next time she's on.
All right. Well, the thing about the turtle shells and the moon phases was that the turtle shell sections, like if you look at the shell of the turtle from like a top down view, the sections that are created on the turtle shell are representative of the moon cycles.
You do realize I was joking. I was talking about the old turtle shells built on turtle shells, and that's what supports the world kind of theory.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to give you a different perspective.
Oh, I don't need a different perspective. That's what I was saying. That again.
Okay. Well, I listened to yours. What the hell, bro?
No, that wasn't my perspective. That was a joke on how.
Yeah, I know, but I listened to it.
We did listen to it. Lanza.
If you listened to it perfectly seriously, then maybe you didn't understand what a joke is because I was joking about how retarded.
I know, but I'm not joking about the. Okay, all right. Do your thing.
And so I understand that certain cultures, like Eastern Asian cultures, have like lunar calendars instead of like the Roman Gregorian calendar or whatever. I mean, that's a legitimate topic of debate, but that's just
historical fact.
That's just tomato. It just depends on your reference.
Lunar
point.
calendars are somewhat valid. You can track like you can track time somewhat by the phases of the moon. That's not.
Also, why did Jesus get to start the calendar? What's so special about him anyways? It's the common era, guys. Science for science. But anyways,
I still use AD. I don't care.
I still
Are we all in agreement though that we like turtles?
Yeah, we all like turtles.
Yeah.
I painted my face white and black eyes and I said I like turtles for you. Yes, we get the meme.
I wonder where that kid is now.
He made a meme where he was like 30 years old and said, "I like turtles."
He's probably making flat Earth videos that dunk on iPhi's position.
Yeah, that's true. Because iPhi and his silly globe theory, he'll never be able to prove that one.
Hey, iPhi, it was just a joke. Would you please listen?
I'm laughing with you, dude. It's cool. Chill out, bro. Anyway, by the way, you mad? Who mad? Problem?
I didn't bring up flat Earth, by the way.
No, we were just. I mean, we weren't even.
I know, but I killed it because, like, sometimes you have to have intelligent conversations.
We weren't debating the merits of flat Earth, though. We weren't debating whether or not it was true. I was talking about like the reasons why I have, like, why I don't understand why people. I'm talking about the psychology of it. I was not talking about whether or not it's really possible at this point.
I agree. The psychology is the problem, Chris, which is why I just said that the tinfoil hat people that were getting
I know, but like
the brainwaves controlled are the same people that posited the theory that
are they
maybe
the same ones that live in the bunkers in the woods?
Dude, there's Rockefeller textbooks for schools in the United States in the 1920s that talk about the flat Earth. So, I mean, tell me what you want, but Rockefeller believed in the flat Earth apparently enough to put it in his books in the 1920s.
Right, and they also have theories about the Illuminati and lizard people and that aliens built the pyramids and a bunch of other horse shit that we know.
No, I'm not saying theories. I'm saying books that existed. Books that existed. I'm not talking about theories.
There's books being written right now by crackheads about how the voices in their head are telling them that the volcano demons are the reason
if that's not the strongest argument I've ever heard, I don't know what is.
Don't read every book you read. Don't believe every book you read.
Don't believe anything you read. I don't believe anything I read.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the educational system in the United States.
Oh, what's your thoughts on that? Is it good or bad?
You didn't know Rockefeller wrote the books for the educational system in the United States?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
it's definitely true. That's why I brought it. I don't want to say things that aren't completely true.
You can run the observations yourself and verify that the Earth is round. Anybody can.
That's why we don't even need to debate it anymore because it's not even like a hot topic of debate.
No, I didn't.
I don't understand. You didn't even know that Rockefeller wrote the books of the education system until I told you, which makes everything you said prior to that, not match up to what I said about the flat Earth being taught in the 1920s through Rockefeller books educational system in the United States. Am I wrong?
Okay, outside of that,
who's he talking to?
You can independently verify the
okay. I did not. I'm so sorry for I was not trying to start an actual debate about flat Earth. I was just talking.
Are you talking to Chris? I can't follow this conversation. Who's that addressed to?
Who's what addressed to?
I don't know.
He just said, I told you about Rockefeller. You didn't know about it, and that doesn't connect, blah, 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 blah. Who was he talking to?
Who, Lanza?
I think Lanza was talking to
you. I at this point, we're about 1.5 galaxies past that, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you didn't know who you were talking to either?
We're going warp light speed right now, and I think you're just still whoever's asking. Yeah.
Oh, your name's Lanza, by the way? Oh, okay. I was just calling you Mad. Sorry. I thought that was your
Well, title. He has 10 or 20 names, so...
Okay.
Whenever I was a kid, I was a big astronomy nerd.
One of which is friend. I should
telescope, and we used to look at Venus, look at
talk
Venus
about that, stuff. Lanza. Have I talked to Lanza before? I don't recall.
I don't know. You may have. Like I said, he has 10 names. He's also Brown Boy in the chat.
Yeah, Brown Boy.
Assimilation.
Oh, assimilation! I talked to him before. I remember that guy.
The very flush right there.
He had a giant stick up his ass last time I talked to him. Have you gotten that stick pulled out yet, lad, or is it still shoved up there sideways?
He went to Talcott and got cured.
I mean, if you're having a bad day, I understand. We all have bad days. So, like Chris was on his period yesterday. So, just.
What? And we've seen yours plenty of times.
And Jeff had to come to verbal combat just to troll me. He was like, you're
I didn't have to do anything. You had me and Andrew Wilson agreeing so much to the point that we didn't even have anything to say because we agreed so much.
And then somehow I ended up defending my philosophical beliefs on where rights come from or something. I don't know what the fuck happened.
You completely roll over and yep, you're right. I don't know anything I'm talking about.
Oh, I just got tired of it. Sometimes, when the conversation's not going anywhere, and
I
so
felt
you just
so
stop
bad.
responding.
I tried to salvage that in my mind any way I could, but I just couldn't find a way.
I just got tired. Eventually, you can wear out my patience.
That was one of the most brutal takedowns I think I've ever seen on YouTube, or maybe even in my life, in person, in reality.
What particular event was the most brutal takedown? Which part?
Andrew Wilson, grabbing you by your tail, shaking you around, and throwing you up in the air.
Oh, so
And
you
then-
think he disproved my
and
theory
then
of
at the- you
libertarianism?
hit the ground, body slamming you like 20 or 30 times after that.
Mic drop.
Yeah, there's like
Whoa.
I don't know if we can agree, man, but like because
He
this kind
had
of makes this.
Andrew had iPhi agreeing with Andrew by the end of it against
No,
his
I wasn't.
own
No, I
self.
wasn't agreeing with him, Jeff. I was tired of hearing his horse shit, so I was like, "Okay, dude,
So you
you're right.
pretended to.
Okay,
Okay.
that's the
Well,
sarcasm, Jeff."
that made you look like a big giant loser.
Hey, Jeff, I don't know if you're Generation X. I don't know if you heard of this concept. It's called sarcasm. It's when you deceitfully
Yeah, and I've
tell
heard of
someone that you
irony.
agree with them
I've heard of satire.
because you're just trolling the
all
shit
that.
out of them at that point
study all
because
that stuff.
everything they're saying is just retarded and spurging, and so you're like, okay, whatever, dude.
Okay, well, it's all on stream. Anybody can watch it and make their own.
What are you
impression.
talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah,
For
let
some
me
reason,
drop-
some
let me
dude
drop
came
the
on
link.
railing about libertarians, and I was like, okay, I'm a libertarian. What's your problem?
Yeah,
And then
Andrew shows up and he's like, "I heard there's some libertarians out here.
then he lost his
I'm
shit.
ready to fight libertarians."
No matter what
wants
the
to
Wi-Fi
fight.
steps up. He's like, "I'll fight you." And
Yeah,
started
He
yeah.
wants to fight, and Lib doesn't care, man. Lib's got 12 hours to tell you whatever he thinks. So
No, this
of
wasn't
course,
on.
I feel
This
it.
wasn't here.
I
This was
mean,
on-
iPhi
Did you
probably
just
won
call
this.
me lib? Did
I
you just
did.
call me?
Yeah, well, you said
lib?
libertarian. You
shit.
said libertarian. I started
Oh,
getting.
shit.
That was just
It
my
was
ebonics, dude.
Sad trombone.
That was my street rat ebonics.
Is this the part where I bite down on this giant shiny hook? Is that
But what was the
my
issue though? Like,
response?
I mean, is there an actual issue? I feel like if I had to go just based on like courage alone, I think iPhi won that shit. So what are we talking about?
We were talking about how he kept redirecting every question to
Sure,
libertarian.
and then
No
he
matter what
probably
the topic
hated
was.
he probably hated your
and
responses to his
iPhi could
redirections.
not even explain the non-aggression principle.
I explained it, and it was
No, you-
printed
it's
on the
screen. I just
screen by the
posted the
host. You
link.
fucking
People can see.
retard.
People can
Yeah,
watch
but what
the
is this?
show.
Like, what was the
See
thing
how
about?
explain it.
It
was-
doesn't matter what the topic was. He always turned it back to libertarians. He was like, "Fuck
Yeah,
you,
okay, keep it a
libertarians."
secret then.
And I was like, "Okay,
There
what's your
wasn't
problem
really.
with it?" And then he was like,
What did y'all fight on for your little
Did you-
5 minute like head to head thing?
The more
He was-
iPhi talks, the more I feel like he lost.
he was trying to convince me that if you come within the vicinity of a school zone, suddenly you have no rights as a human being anymore because
You have a lot less.
rules.
You do have less, yeah.
Yeah,
But what's the
but
point?
He never said no rights. Like you.
No,
you tried
he
to
was
explain
saying
in
all the rights are
ridiculous
gone. He was
ways.
saying like,
Like,
no matter what
yeah,
rights
well,
you
like,
thought
that
you
sounds like a
had,
dumb.
disappear
That
when
sounds
you're
like a
in
dumb
school
position
zone.
to
Every
have.
one of your rights disappear, and nobody believed that. You sounded ridiculous saying it.
And so I said, I don't care about your feelings, and that's why we have principles about freedom and liberty and justice.
Well, I
So
get-
fuck your
Did you guys go to the shooting range and make moon pies after?
maybe. Who wants to know?
All right. Agreement settled upon.
Okay, so what's your religion or politics? I wanna hear your side of the
Dude, I mean, who am I? Who am I?
Lanza, apparently, according to your
Yeah, but
tag.
who would I be to think I could have politics or like any sort of
Like-
position on like
Lanza-
what I think is like right above
He's
anything
a mere
else?
worm. He's a worm.
Lanza follows
You said a worm?
Is he one of these enlightened centrists that I keep hearing about?
No,
Jeff?
man, I'm not even claiming this one. No.
No, Jeff can say whatever he wants. It's his show. Like, and honestly, dude, out of everybody up here, I would say Redington may know me the best, and then I would say Jeff has a potential of possibly having some good insight as well.
Reddington doesn't say shit ever. He's like the
Exactly.
most
That's
quiet
why he
lurker
knows.
ever.
Reddington carries
That's
a
why he
lot
knows.
of credibility, though.
Okay,
He's a
Reddington,
solid
since Lanza
stand-up
can't answer
person.
for himself, can you tell me what Lanza's beliefs are, please?
Not
Exactly.
really.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I thought he was going to
Lanza
say like I
doesn't
don't
know,
believe in
like,
I
anything.
forget stuff though, so his memory's better than mine.
Lanza doesn't know. His fan
Maybe
club doesn't
Lanza
know.
is
He does know.
What do I?
a-
You got to give me an option. Like, what do I?
Okay,
say?
let me-
What?
let's-
Like,
Maybe he's non-religious and apolitical.
Let's start with politics, and then let me see if you can answer some questions
All
and
right.
educate Jeff on how this system works. Okay, so Lanza, concerning the size and power of government, do you prefer authoritarian governments or libertarian governments, or just pure anarchy?
You like it big or small?
See, man, I believe you know, the best authority starts closest to home. You know,
Big or small?
It's a politician
Small.
answer.
Okay, libertarian. So you want a small government, right?
More about politics than he pretends.
I mean, I'm not. I might wake up tomorrow and think differently, but right now, based on the
just
choices
try to decide today. You can change
Which
your mind
brain are you
tomorrow,
on?
but just today, make a decision. Okay. So as far as the economy goes, do you want to privately own your land, or should the government own your land? Which one do you prefer?
I would say privately.
Okay. As far as whatever you do on your land, like let's say you decide to grow a farm one day and feed yourself with fruits and vegetables.
Beautiful.
Should you keep your fruit, or should the government take your fruit? Which one do you prefer?
I mean, come on, dude. What the fuck do you think?
I have to ask because our world,
is anybody up here going to pick the government? That's my question.
every time, everyone but me will pick the government. I'm the only person that
You'd be
picks
surprised.
libertarian, capitalist, morally
the
founded
analogy doesn't really
systems.
hold. Government doesn't come to and take your fruit.
Lanza, I'm the only.
like
That's why
baseball.
everyone dogpiles on me, because no one agrees with me. Everyone says, "Oh,
Why the hell would
you're
anybody
horseshit."
be like, I'm going to wake up today and I can't wait to give the government my fruit?
I like
Have you seen the
they don't
voting
come
numbers
after the
lately?
actual
Have
fruit.
you seen how many people voted for
I don't
Biden?
believe in those. I don't believe in those.
You don't believe those are real people? The 80 million votes? You think they're all fake?
What do you mean 80 million?
The people that voted for Biden.
What, in that one jurisdiction?
And you're saying that,
No, in the world,
you're saying Biden's whole thing is to come take your fruit.
Oh, definitely. That's
all people
the
do
whole
like
point
fruit.
of the Democrat
yeah,
Party.
okay, but
people
like
do like
that's an
fruit. You might
argument
be-
shrouded.
Sauce is
Yeah.
mine.
It's a
By
shrouded
the way,
argument.
I would also include the Republicans in that same boat, but that's just me because I'm one of those crazy right-wing people.
See, there you go. Now you're just absolving yourself of everything you just created. Look at you.
No, I'm not absolving shit. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Biden. If I had the choice, I would vote for Ron Paul. So there's my vote.
All right, Lib. I fucking love you, bro. Or no,
You
Lib.
call
I
me
mean,
Lib
fucking
again.
iPhone.
I will find you and I will kill you and all your family.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Ron Paul was the last dude. I was like, this guy might make fucking the most sense.
Exactly. That's what a conservatarian is.
Yo,
by
I
the way.
just
That's
unsubbed from his. I swear to God, today I just unsubbed from like Ron Paul, like 2012, like some channel that hadn't put a video for like 12 years.
Oh
Well,
man,
ain't he dead?
why'd you lose faith? It's happening. It's happening.
No, dude, bro, come on, dude.
You're roboting. You're
Now
roboting.
I sound like auto tune.
Try again.
Are you even in?
You're still roboting. Try again. Either jump out and jump back in, or give it a minute.
All right. Are you in the United States?
Yes, I heard that question.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Are you in the United States? Oh, he's gone. He's got that dial-up internet. He needs to upgrade.
He's in the wilds of Iowa, in Indiana, Missouri,
Hey, Redington.
somewhere in the woods.
Are there any other conservatarians, or am I the only one? Since you lurk and know all about all
you are the Tigger of political people. You're the only one, dude.
You're the only one.
I knew it. See, Jeff, I told you I'm the only right-wing person, and so
Yeah, because I've watched you try to sell it, and the few little bites you got, you fuck up every time.
I didn't fuck up anything.
I knew you would always be the only one.
My audience is retarded, so I have to
I
educate
watched
them
you
before I
try
can
to
debate them.
Propagate and make like progeny.
I mean, Lance is agreeing with me, and he sounds pretty smart. So, what is he? He's chopped liver?
That's debatable.
Ron Paul makes sense to both of y'all. So
Yeah, that's the conservatarian movement. You're going in the right direction.
Look,
but
man,
he's dead.
I think you and Lance will have a lot of fun out there.
Okay, Lanza's my new buddy. I like you, Lanza. You're my new pal.
Until not, talk to NeuroJack, Lanza.
NeuroJack is here.
I know we've seen this story.
Probably listening.
He's probably with his family.
He knows when you've been naughty, and he knows when you've been nice. So Lanza, the final piece of the puzzle, and this is where most people bail out. You
Dude,
have to
this is
have
like the test where you put like the circle in the circle spot and like the square in the square
Well,
spot.
here comes the third, my final form. I'm going to assume my final form now. You
Are
have
you
to
a
agree.
human?
You have to agree
Just
to a
kidding.
morally founded structure. So that's the most important part of everything, all society. Do you agree to those
What
terms?
about it?
You have to
A
agree to it.
morally-
It's not optional.
Yeah.
What
You
is
have
it?
to give up your right to free association. That's one
So
of the-
so Jeff can't have communists, devil worshipping communists over at his house and fuck up our country. So I will play that
Wait. You got to
authoritarian
explain.
card.
Say it again. I have to agree to what?
Morally
Anything that-
founded society. The moral
have to
foundation
live by his
dictates
moral
all of the
rule.
government and economy and everything, culture, society,
So what
everything.
dictates the moral foundation then?
He does.
Basically plagiarize Christianity.
He does.
So
himself.
basically
His interpretation of
authoritarianism.
that.
No, not even.
Yeah, in a
barely
very slippery
authoritarian.
slope. Redington's got a point.
No, don't listen to Redington. See, this is where
Even Lanza.
No, but what
is
you're
by
saying, though,
nature
you're saying it as if it could be all that, and we all know
no,
that
no,
Stephen
Lanza.
and Kel taught us that it ain't all that, and it ain't all about the orange soda either.
Lanza, have you ever heard of the concept of the separation of church and state? Are you familiar with this phrase?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a fallacy, but-
theory. I maintain that theory that even in my conservatarian government, you still have the freedom of religion. So you're not forced to be a Christian. You just have to
All right,
abide by
yeah, but you're not understanding that
Okay.
is that's
What is
that's
it?
going to ultimately lead to a pinpoint direction.
of morality. So you don't get to kill people, steal, and lie.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have
No,
it as a foundation.
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, I agree with you.
No, in an imperfect world with evil retards, you have to have rule of law that says no one is allowed to kill, steal, or lie, or you can't have a civilized
I know,
society.
but you're opening up like 6 more subjects that you're really good at doing.
No, I'm not. It's one subject: moral foundation. End of sentence. Full stop.
Morality is determined by society.
No, it's not, Chuck. That's ethics. And ethics is as
Yeah, I know, but, like,
useful
this
as
is-
everyone's opinions. Everyone's got one, and they're all shitty. That's why you have to have
Like I said, I
objective
think
proof.
I said from the beginning, I think it starts like closest to home.
That's fine. And by the way, as a libertarian, the focus is on autonomy. That's why I would prefer ANCAP.
Well, science and autonomy
That's
don't
why you
exist
tell
together,
everybody
by the
what
way.
to do.
I would prefer ANCAP, but it's not realistic. So in order to have a country, you have to have a small libertarian government.
You have so many inconsistencies in your.
And so the
Literally,
autonomy
biology is like the study of like non-autonomy.
autonomy is the key ideal of the libertarian
even
society
Sarah
because
knows.
the
Even
focus is on
Sarah
the
gets it.
individual, not the government. It's the individual's responsibility, the individual freedoms.
Yeah, like freedom to associate with whoever
So
the
the
hell
citizens
wants to
become
without you
authoritarian.
telling
Yeah,
me
but
who I-
aren't we're dude? Listen, we're all talking about effects right now. We're not talking about causes. Like, yeah,
Right.
you could say morals are a cause, but like, yeah, but like the way you presented it was not a super clean version of that. And
Well,
I don't
I
agree
mean, I
everybody. I don't intend on everybody to agree anyway. So you know,
Well, I mean, we could
my
debate
expectations
the
are.
details,
easiest-
but
oh,
it's
yeah,
the principles
fine,
that are
believe it.
important.
I have high expectations, but I am prepared for the worst.
I can debate the details for eternity. It's the principles that are important. That's the non-negotiable part. That's why you have to agree to those terms.
Try to put your principles on anybody else. It's not
Easy.
exactly.
I get lots of people
You're
that agree that
delusional.
that's the best way.
We are proof literally up here that's delusional what you just said.
Man,
If
it
you
doesn't
think
even take
this
Andrew
room
Wilson.
It's not only out of like defiance alone.
If you think this room represents the collection of good and intelligent
Why
people,
not?
I've
Why
got bad
not?
news for you.
I think
Why
it
not?
does. You think it
Why
does.
not? You give us reasons why not.
Because
And-
if
and
you
if it
You
does
try to put
explore
the
the
burden.
world,
You try to put the burden of
Why
proof
are
on
you not
the room. Do you see that?
so
Dude.
Lanza, if you explore the world, you might find out that there are more intelligent people out there somewhere if you look hard
You
enough.
think?
I'm
You
just
think?
saying.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that.
So I agree.
Well, what about it? Like, what about?
So since Lib is not in the room, the IQ of this room has gone up like 3,000 points. So
Yeah. Okay. Now
got
you
me
just
there,
took that
Lanza.
opportunity to make a point, and you made like a side issue point right there.
I agree. The point is your audience. So the quality of your discussion depends on the quality of your audience. I agree, Lanza. You're correct.
like yourself.
I didn't say that. You might be more like Neurojack than you thought. You just put my shit into your own words.
We share some similar ideas, but
probably
he
is. They had
can't
a little
stay long
bromance
enough to
going for
defend
a
his
while.
ideas, and so that's what
They
the main
saw
problem.
something.
No, I know it, dude. I kind of know what's happening, to be honest. For the most part, I feel like
what
I
is
do.
happening? Enlighten us. What is happening?
Man, I
And
think
then
you
the
guys know.
crickets.
I think you guys know too. I can't take it away from you. I think you guys know too.
I have no idea.
Okay, there's
Other
one
than what I've
no.
already
Does anyone
observed,
else know what he's
in my
talking
mind.
about?
No, I said that you guys know what's going on. Am I wrong?
I'll go ahead and vote no. I'm with Jeff. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think everybody right here knows what's going on. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take it.
Knows what's going on with what?
Does anyone know what he's talking about? Let's start
in general.
there. Instead of...
In general, they
just
know it.
like-
In general,
that's
right
too-
now, in this
that's
moment,
too
we all know
general.
what's going on.
That's too general. There's something like there's very
Is
few
that too
things.
general? Am I Talcotton right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There's-
You can't
way
know
too many
love
things I know
and
nothing
accept
I don't
it.
know, man. I just, you know what?
Okay,
I guess maybe I could explain it by faith. I don't know.
Yeah, because faith is believing in shit you don't have evidence of, man. It's like totally like blind faith.
Morality.
It's about them unknown unknowns.
By the way, Lanza, if we ever get into a religious debate, just so you know, my definition of faith is the evidence of things unseen. It doesn't mean believing in shit without evidence. Those are completely
I'll just have you know that religious humor is my favorite humor. But I'm not going to joke about it all the time.
Okay. You can joke about as much as you want, but I'm probably the only serious person you'll encounter about the topic of religion. So if you want to talk about it, I will. But if you don't, I won't force you. Don't worry.
Yeah, not at this moment. But I can sense that you are serious.
Oh yeah. Heart attack. So, anyways, again, I'm not proposing a Christian nationalism. You know, some sort of like, who's that short dude that's always angry all the time? What's his name again?
Joe Rogan. Ben Shapiro.
No. The white
and Bob.
Nick Fuentes.
Fuentes.
Vern Troyer.
I'm not going the Fuentes route.
Didn't he pass away?
But Nick Fuentes is who I was thinking of. I'm not going that route, even though like Neurojack kind of has in his crazy head like some idea of Christian nationalism that could work, but I don't like the sound of it, so I'll wait and see after he proposes it to criticize it.
Dude, I feel like it has a relation to British Talcottianism.
Talcott's not even in the same ballpark, dude. So
no, I was just joking.
Okay, so again, I'm coming from the point of view that starting with the separation of church and state, plagiarizing Christian fundamentals, that's good enough for me. Like I don't care if my neighbors are devil worshippers and Buddhists and Hindus or whatever.
But they can't be communist.
They just can't be communist, Jeff, because you can't have capitalism and socialism at the same time.
Don't you think you're like worried about a lot of people though?
Well, if you worry about all the evil retards, you'll never get any sleep. So you just have to get over it. And
how would you enforce that though?
You don't enforce it. That's the autonomous part. You see, everybody keeps trying to make it sound like the government's going to solve the problem. That's why they're authoritarians, because they always.
I don't think anybody thinks that.
I'm just asking.
Does anybody think that the government's going to solve the problem?
Most people do, Lanza, by default. Most people are
not even the people on welfare, like on the system. I know.
Yeah.
Even think that.
Listen to Jeff, bro. Jeff chimes in with some like heaters every once in a while. You got to listen.
I'm aware of planet Earth, and most humans default to authoritarian governments, whether they agree with it or not. It doesn't matter. By passively agreeing with it, you're compliant with them. So
yeah, but inherently they are in compliance.
And there goes Just Frank again. Just Frank, come up on panel and enlighten us with your big brains, dude. Since you're so fucking smart in the comments. But anyways, so the reason why I sound like I'm always like revolutionary or whatever is because I will actually back up what I say. That's the difference. I don't just talk about theory and shit like that. I actually propose systems that you
You and I
can
have
do in real
talked
life.
endless hours about theory.
And that's why Jeff makes fun of me, because he thinks that me going out into the woods and starting an Amish community with like-minded
I make fun of you
conservatarians
because you
is not
seem to
realistic.
provoke
iPhi,
comedy in me.
iPhi, you're a good dude and all that, but let Chuck or Chris or Jen, Jeff, let them drum something up here, because I got to be honest, man, we've been on your stuff here for a little bit.
You're free to
The
interrupt
emergence of the
anytime and
panel
change the
Karen.
subject.
She's coming.
I did. I said turtle shells, and you fucking killed me about it.
Okay, which one is your favorite Ninja Turtle? Is it Donatello or Michelangelo?
I want to know what Jeff or Chris or Chuck thinks or wants to talk about or something.
I don't. That's after my generation.
The reason why I drone on Just Frank is because
Or
Jeff
Redington.
never listens. He never learns. He never grows.
Yeah, Redington, what is on your mind? What would you like to talk about?
Don't ask him that.
Hey,
Jeff,
hey, don't come out of my face.
No, I'm just saying though, he's got 14 hours of material coming.
I wouldn't know where to start.
Oh,
well,
from the beginning.
Whatever comes to your mind, start somewhere.
The beginning, Redington. The beginning.
Anywhere you want.
In the beginning, there was darkness, and then Redington said, "Let there be light."
In the middle of the action.
And Redington said, "Pass."
Okay, so that leaves.
I am kind of curious why you panel up to lurk. I've never figured out that.
Redington joins in and contributes. Like sometimes he doesn't. He's a man. He might be a man of few words, but he usually has good points when he makes them. I appreciate that. I appreciate someone who waits to speak until they have something to say. Unlike some people I know.
Oh, I'll pass.
Are you talking about Frank?
Me?
No, I'm just kidding. I knew you were talking about.
I'll pass.
We can wrap up. We've been going 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we can wrap up.
Sorry to hear you're still on your period, Chris. Just take some Midol. You'll feel better in the morning.
How am I on my? What am I?
And how is it Chris that's on the period, not me? Like that came from Lanza.
Whoa,
and not to mention that iPhi is the one that just like jumped on panel just to go like machine gun yell at everybody for like the last 20 minutes. So
that's what he's probably bored. Lead out, sit his trailer.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know how I'm being pissy. I just was letting him.
No, apparently the other day Lanza had some little subjective experience of you.
No, it was iPhi saying I was pissy.
But Lanza and I fight all the time. That's why I just felt it interesting that he singled you out for being on your period and not me.
Lanza
it was iPhi that said that.
Youngin. What happened to iPhi? He get mad and leave?
Well, we said we're wrapping up. So
I didn't do anything. I get accused of kicking people off panels, but I didn't do anything. Every now and then I have to backstage someone.
Well, what happened? So he lost last night and he lost today. I guess he's taking his wounds.
I don't even think there was a fight today. I have no idea what he said for this last. I have no idea a single point he made for like the last.
Well, y'all were talking about flat Earth, and he's like, "Is this the topic?" I said, "Well, come up and change it."
Yeah, we weren't talking about flat Earth though. We were talking about the psychology around flat Earth.
Go on for.
But it wasn't about the validity of flat Earth. That's not what that was not my topic of conversation.
Flat Earth
it was
related. Like I
couldn't
into separate it. If I heard it in a coffee shop, I would think, "Oh, they're talking about flat Earth."
I was trying to get to the heart of what it is that attracts people to believing in such things, and why they get so like.
We talked. Remember, we asked the AI. We talked about that one day. It gave us a whole list of why people fall for conspiracy theories. And flat Earth in particular, and there's that website too that I posted. What's it called? That walks you through the different conspiracy theories and helps you.
I know, but I mean, still, it
Think
was just
through them.
it was just because we had several people in the chat that were saying they did leave it, and like, and I was trying to be empathetic and understanding, and trying to understand like where they're coming from and why that matters to them, like why it matters. That's what I was getting to, and it had nothing to do with like I'm not interested in debating whether or not the Earth is actually flat, but I am curious as to why otherwise people that I think that are intelligent
What is
and
the
thinking
movie
people.
today? The monkey shows.
I don't know. I say if we
Flat
go watch.
Earth.
I think we need to finish Twin Peaks myself.
Well, we can finish at least the first storyline. Like we can, because there's 2 more episodes, and then we can do the movie, which wraps everything up. And then
Yeah.
from that point on, it starts all those new storylines.
Yeah, I mean, like I think, but I mean, you got to watch the end of season 2 because the finale, the finale of the original Twin Peaks is one of like the greatest like.
I've seen Dark. I had liked
What
Dark.
wasn't Tom Skerritt the sheriff in Twin Peaks, or am I
No,
wrong?
that was oh shit, what's that?
Oh yeah, what was that
Was it
show?
something Pines?
Yeah, Tom Skerritt was the sheriff in a different show that was kind of like that. It was like a weird
Shady
town kind of thing.
Pines, Lonesome Pines.
It was made by Lynch,
Wayward
though,
Pines?
wasn't it?
Is it Wayward Pines? Picket Fences.
Picket Fences. That's it.
Yeah, wasn't that
Picket
a David
Fences.
Lynch production?
No, but Twin
No.
Peaks inspired a lot of those kind of type of shows, like Northern Exposure, X-Files, Picket Fences. They had the one. What was the one with Indiana, Erie, Indiana? Push, Nevada. It inspired all kind of little creepy town shows.
For some reason, I get those 2 mixed up. Picket Fences.
Here's I have to run to the
Peaks.
store before we start, so it'll take like, I don't know, 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not a big deal. But shout out thank you for saying that you understood what I was trying to get at, Sarah. At least I'm glad somebody did. I don't. What you guys are saying, Dark City. I actually know. I did. That was one I was considering like adding to the rotations. I'm assuming if people hadn't seen it. The Island.
Never heard of it.
The Island's kind of like it's okay. It's pretty good for a what's his name movie. You know, fucking asshole director guy that made Transformers and all that stuff. Like, what's his name? Michael Bay. It's not bad for a Michael Bay movie, but it's okay. It's good for Michael Bay, I'd say. I think Michael Bay's best movie is probably Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain's probably a much better film from him.
You mean Michael Explosion Bay?
Yeah, but did you see Pain and Gain though? Pain and Gain actually impressed me. I didn't realize it was his movie. I didn't realize he directed it until I got to the end of it, and I was like, damn, that was a Michael Bay movie. It was really fun. It's got The Rock in it as like this steroid, coke addicted it's like born again Christian like bodybuilder guy, and then it's actually really funny. It's actually one of like the few times I actually thought The Rock.
Well, that would describe The Rock.
Yeah, but like it's like The Rock acting kind of. It's like or Dwayne Johnson, whatever he calls himself now. It's like him acting almost like in kind of a Nicolas Cage kind of level of crazy. He's like hitting like this fever pitch that I've never seen him do anything else. It's pretty good. I mean, I just enjoyed it just for that alone, but still. Bates Motel, you mean that TV series? I remember watching like the first season of it. I don't think I got much past that though, but I mean, it was good. It just didn't. I don't know the backstory of Psycho isn't. I find a lot of those prequel series type things. I don't know. I don't find them all that interesting usually, except for Hannibal. 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 If anybody wants to start watching through Hannibal, I'm 100% like down with that. But like you gotta be willing to, even though most of it's implied. I don't think Jeff would like it because it's a pretty gory show, but it's so good. It is so good. Hannibal is one of the best. It was one of the best TV series type things like that I've ever seen, and it's such a stupid idea for a show too. It's like it's Hannibal and what's his name, and
what was that one
teaming
show?
up as like detectives,
Dexter. Dexter
Yeah.
That was just completely stupid.
I like the first season of Dexter, but Dexter it just wore it just wore thin after a while because it just became more and more like unbelievable that it could keep going. But I think Hannibal went about the right amount of time. It did a pretty good job. I wish they had got to actually do their version of Silence of the Lambs like they were going to, but they couldn't get the rights to it anyway. So they couldn't get the rights to actually adapt that particular story for the series, so they couldn't do it. So the show kind of had to end. But anyway, yeah, that's another good show to check out. I want to go through Mr. Robot with some people soon because just the first 2 seasons really, because I want to help. I want some other people's like perspectives on like what makes that first season of Mr. Robot work so well, because it's got such the way it handles its twists and everything are so like
Was
ingenious.
that Disney?
No.
No. Mr. Robot's a very dark show about hackers, about hacking and mind, and it's got a lot of conspiracy stuff in it too. It's like the main character is kind of a paranoid schizophrenic, like autistic hacker guy, and he's yeah. No, I mean it's very aware of all those things. It's not endorsing the conspiracies per se. I mean, yes, some of the conspiracies are real, but it's a very much a lot of it is very much about how he's actually like sick and stuff too. So, I mean, it's not as it's not like one of those shows. And when people, if you try to point out anything that, yeah, there's a lot of people that are a lot more hardcore about than I am, but it used to be my favorite TV show in the last season. So, anyway, I guess we'll wrap up there. Let Jeff
All
go
right,
to the store.
I'll bail. I'll
Let
see you
Jeff
guys a little later.
Go to the store. Yeah,
Okay,
feel free to join us on Discord
here again
for
tomorrow.
what do we end up doing? Probably Twin Peaks tonight, I think. So,
All right.
Peace.
Peace to you as well,
Oh,
Redington.
I meant to do the peace. So I did this. So peace.
Well, this is fine though. This is it's rock and roll, devil horns, whatever In Texas, it means Texas they do this.
Hook 'em
like,
horns. Yeah.
Yeah, hook 'em horns in Texas. So like
Yeah.
like I mean it's even like doesn't even have to be if you're in. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna run to the store and then I'll message you when I am ready.
Yeah,
I've
got my and yeah, I got to talk to you about something anyway. Don't forget to remind. I can't believe I was going to talk to you about for the show, so we didn't have time. But yeah,
so just hang around. You saying?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, yeah, just hang around for just a second after we stop the stream.
All right.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Okay, and everyone else will see you on the Discord later if you want to join us. If not, we will do it again tomorrow.